You already know what time it is, man. The young goat in the building. Make sure you tune in to Tru Heel Heat podcast.
This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero. And if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to them boys.
Hey guys, it's Rosa and welcome to Tru Heel Heat.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with Tru Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Another week in professional wrestling in the books, and we have a lot to discuss. It was a busy week, as last Saturday was WWE SummerSlam. You got that to discuss with the return of the tribal chief, the OTC, Roman Reigns. You also had the implosion of the Judgment Day, and just when you thought WWE would be all the talk we would be talking about, they are all the talk we're talking about, because a former AEW World Tag Team Champions on this podcast last week, all of our panel said that we were anywhere between 90 to 100% sure the Lucha Bros would re-sign with AEW, and then boom, they are leaving AEW to go to WWE. We got a lot to discuss on the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast. It's a Saturday morning cookout. Get your plates. The show's on. Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Tru Heel Heat 289 Zero Medal of OTC Judgment, discussing the latest wrestling news, including the Lucha Bros being expected to leave All Elite Wrestling and sign with WWE later this year, as well as Ricky Starks, also expected to be the next AEW to WWE jump. You got Seth Rollins taking time off again due to injury this year. Recap of this week in wrestling with WWE SummerSlam 2024 with the return of Roman Reigns. SmackDown last night with Roman coming after the Bloodline. Raw this week, one of the best episodes of the year with the fallout from the Judgment Day implosion. NXT Great American Bash Night 2 with Wesley turning on the Rascalz. AEW Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, ROH TV, New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 34 is coming down the home stretch. You also got TNA Impact and our matches and best of the week. So, of course, I am joined by the crew. We got one more to come, but first up, we got the True Draw himself. Josh, how are you doing?
Doing good. Just been taking care of this little orange over here.
Oh, look at that son.
Guy, man. Look at this
So
guy.
what this is, a lot of people have been asking me. So what this is like a cone. It's like another variation of a cone. You know how sometimes when animals they get like either fixed or some kind of injury that they don't want them to touch their faces. We got this and to make him feel more comfortable, you know, and he doesn't look as ridiculous as like looking like he has a satellite. So
something cool, like not the dish. Yeah.
Yeah. So like yeah, he had we had a little scare last week. So we've been watching him. We've been taking care of him. So he seems like he's doing better. He's walking a lot better now. So that's been basically my week.
Well, we all got to take care of our children some way, and I know that's your child, so I appreciate you taking care of him. Hope he's doing well, even though he looked like a whole new dog the last time we saw him.
Yeah, he got his haircut too. He got his haircut.
You look like he's in good hands. He's in good hands.
We also got with us for his monthly visit here on the Flagship podcast, the resident Tru Heel alcoholic himself, the hookah maker, the one and only Top Guy JJ.
What a week. What a week. Besides work and this crazy ass week in wrestling of shit to keep up with, I don't know how you do 80,000 podcasts and still keep up with this, and most importantly, being a father to them two beautiful babies. I don't know how with the amount of shit that goes on, and it was difficult for me to just watch 4 shows. It was the 4 shows, and that shit felt like an assignment.
I understand.
Weekly.
I literally was comparing our weekly stats with my good friend Jeremy Lambert, who is on YouTube almost more than me. And we did our weekly stats, and I was at like 11 hours just on this channel, not including an hour and a half that I did on Sportskeeda, an hour and a half I did with him on Fightful Overbook. I did 2 hours with him on In the Weeds yesterday. And as well as, just to get it out the way at the start of the show, you guys are looking at the first Black Quizzlemania champion and the first Black Survival Series champion. Yes, if you didn't know, you didn't see our community tab, I made my visit over to Wrestle Talk HQ, and I was a part of this month's Survival Series where we had to name every AEW pay-per-view main event in reverse chronological order, and I watched the field. I am the reigning champion. They told me when I finished up, that was the first time anyone made it to the end of a particular topic with only one strike to go. That is why I am your champion. I am your champion. We are the champions. This title is for Tru Heel Heat.
Congratulations, my brother. You see, people had this narration that all we do is complain, bitch, and moan. See, it's right there, man, that there's a bunch of knowledge in these fucking noggins. Not just over here firing off some fucking complaints and bitching about shit. If we're bitching about something, it's probably because something's wrong.
Pretty much. And yes, our producer says that, and this motherfucker finds time to watch a bunch of non-wrestling TV shows. Yes, I found time.
And does reviews on them shits too.
I found time to go. Only 2 episodes left in this season of The Bear. Me and Jimmy been watching it for his channel. We did episodes 7 and 8. Jamie Lee Curtis with a phenomenal performance in episode 8. So we're going to do our Bear review over on Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment about the whole season coming soon. But I only got 2 episodes left. So yeah, I did find time to watch some non-wrestling. And of course, I have to watch shows with my missus, who we've been on our 90-day fiance kick. The tell-alls are where it's at. And Angela is one of the worst human beings that's ever been on reality television. For those who know, they know. But yes. We got enough wrestling to talk about that. I don't need to talk about anything else. And I didn't even find time to listen to that Childish Gambino album that we were talking about the last time you were on, Top Guy JJ. So won't be talking about that today. But
Yeah, shit. Okay, yeah. You forgot to do something. Oh my God. Yeah. Besides an invite, you know.
This guy, you over here telling me, trying to make me feel bad. Like someone forgot. And then he tells
Yeah.
me, he was like, oh, I almost didn't make it.
Yeah.
I was like, you're getting
Nah.
on me?
If there's not a year that goes by that I don't fuck with you or bust your chops, just check on me, do a fucking personal health check, send up, you know, just send wellness checks on me. Because if I don't do it, then something's wrong.
This is true. This is true. I know something's wrong when he hasn't gave me shit for something within like the last month or so. But yes, we always we always appreciate you coming on, Top Guy JJ. But we appreciate all of y'all watching most of all. Thank you so much for joining us live today. Thank you so much if you're watching us on demand. Either way, we appreciate y'all. Show that appreciation back the simplest way possible. If you're watching on YouTube, drop the thumbs up on the video. It helps the YouTube algorithms. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. If you're watching us on Facebook, drop a heart, a like, an angry emoji, a laughing emoji, however this week in professional wrestling made you feel. And we have quite a bit of y'all watching us over on Facebook. That's a rarity. We don't always have a lot of viewership over on Facebook, so we appreciate y'all. If you're joining us live over there today, you're watching us on Romeo's Twitter, drop the heart. That helps the algorithm over there. Retweet the video over there as well. But if you're watching on any of those platforms, the best thing you can do to be a part of this Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast is sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys and hear your thoughts, hear your hot takes, hear your questions about this week in professional wrestling. So, of course, sound off over there. But if you're feeling generous and you want to give back to what we do here, the best way you could do that is with a super chat donation. Just hit the $sign at the end of the chat. Any dollar amount matters, and we will highlight your comment on screen. Like our good brother, one of our Patreon backers, one of our members, one of the best in our community as of late. I Make Beats. Thank you so much for joining us today. He says, OTC, happy weekend, everyone. And Josh knows, so I'm going to talk to my guy here, Top Guy JJ, because Top Guy JJ, you know, he knows what we've been about for the past decade. The past decade, we built a bandwagon that not a lot of y'all niggas was on like 4 years ago. A lot of y'all niggas was shitting on Homeboy. But all these niggas want to act like they been Roman Reigns fans for a whole long time. They don't want to give us credit for seeing the vision. We saw the vision. You know, although the vision came from a horrible, horrible human being that needs to be under a jail, we saw his vision. We saw the star power way before all of y'all. So y'all should be thanking us for building the bandwagon for y'all to jump on and say OTC, GOAT, and all that nonsense. Y'all need to show respect to those who knew way before, like me and Top Guy JJ. That's all I gotta say. Top Guy JJ.
You know, I think we were the only soldiers to wear full gear to a wrestling event live in person. We started a chant to something that everyone hated and then people loved, and now all of a sudden he's the biggest thing in the world, and it's like, oh, I've been no. We have every fucking receipt from 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
We're 2 weeks away from our 7th anniversary. Like the whole thing started 2017 when we were the only people cheering for Roman when he ended the Undertaker's career, quote unquote.
But you know what?
Career.
There's a reason for this. A family above all, because a family is all about growing, and we accept your hypocrisy.
Yeah. Not talking about you, I Make Beats. I Make Beats, you're new to the chat, but there's a lot of people out there that have been trying to act like they've been Roman Reigns fans for a long time. And I just had to let them know. I had to be like, you know what? I made room in the bandwagon for you. You got to get in the back, but you can get on the bandwagon. It's okay. You can get on the bandwagon.
There's room. There's still a little bit more room.
There's room.
Still a little bit more room.
Our tribal chief. We got.
I wanted to rock that OTC shirt so bad today, but it's on Later Rivals coming on Monday.
I gotta make my order. I'm gonna make my order this week.
I ordered that shit as soon as I was like, this shit is hard. That shit tough.
We got Workhorse Wrestling Network in the chat saying, hey, everyone. We got Safed who says, sup, everyone. We got Dolores in the chat with us today. Bell's in the chat with us today. Thanks for coming through. We got Chuck Berries who says, what's up, THH fam? Shout out to our OTC and RIP to Kevin Sullivan. Yes, indeed. RIP to one of the great wrestling minds in professional wrestling history.
Evil genius.
The evil genius himself, the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan, if you don't know, he's a territorial days. He started off as one of the biggest heels in professional wrestling history. He passed away, unfortunately, on, I believe this was Friday morning. He was dealing with a lot. He got into an accident. This is what Dutch Mantel told me yesterday on our post show for SmackDown, and sent our condolences to all his friends and family, including his longtime friend Dutch Mantel. Dutch Mantel knew him before I was even born. Like, that's how long they go back with each other. So thoughts and prayers to his family. But Kevin Sullivan, for everything great that he did in the professional wrestling ring as one of the original heels, and his rivalries with Sting, Dusty Rhodes, and all the all-time greats from the territory days into WCW, NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions. I most of all appreciate him for being the mastermind, for being the booker behind WCW during its Renaissance days, during the early days of WCW Nitro, during the NWO angle. He was the booker that was behind a lot of it, and even his departure from WCW from the booking standpoint led to a lot of fallout. That led to what happened with the Rascalz going over to WWF at the beginning of 2000, because he wasn't there, so they went over there. So it's a lot in him being there. Like, he had his issues, of course, with Chris Benoit, but they also had a great rivalry in the ring. But man, Kevin Sullivan, you got to always kind of appreciate what he was able to do as far as a booker, as far as a professional wrestler, as far as a pioneer as a heel. I'll start with you, Josh. Any thoughts or comments you want to make for Kevin Sullivan passing away?
I mean, never really followed his career like that, to be honest with you. I knew about him, but he was somebody I really didn't really follow up with. The only thing I know about is like all like the negative stuff, unfortunately, and like the conspiracy theories about him. That's basically what it comes down to. But I know like there's a lot of things that he's done for the business, and when it comes to a time like this, I hope people focus on that and not something that's not factual, in my opinion. So hopefully going forward that happens.
Yeah, I do agree with that for sure. Top guy JJ, what about you?
Oh man, appreciate that. You see, this is why I appreciate my brethrens. If we are honest, right? So you see what we just talked about with the wannabe day ones of the Romans. See, Josh didn't really understand and know Kevin Sullivan too much. So it's like, all right, cool, yo. I saw what he did for the industry, but don't know too much about him. If our OTC members acknowledges, they really weren't around that long. They weren't around that long. Now they're here. We accept you. So, but Kevin Sullivan, to me, is the pioneer of character freedom. He's like the pioneer of He was the one that went outside the box with all of his visionary ideas in front of the camera. Like when it comes to his backdrops, when it comes to his weird interviews, when it comes to how he dressed, how he looked, his intentions, like what he did with all different what he did with like Sting, if you could do an angle that was crazy with somebody like Sting, and then have the versatility to fucking freak out Hulk Hogan in his peak. Like that he had such a range of how to be evil and how to be like demonic with his miniature status, because he's a small guy.
Yeah.
Like he's built, but he's a small guy, but he still posed a big threat to everyone. And the freedom of what he was able to do with his character on screen kind of gave people the courage to do things outside the box, a la your Undertakers, a la your Kanes, and all your Mankind's. The ability to think outside the box, because everybody basically just came out in trunks, different color knee pads, different color boots. Nah, this motherfucker was different. This motherfucker was just different. So seeing that back in the fucking 80s and then transition into what characters and what people are evolving to now, he's one of the pioneers for that shit. So, you know, if I hope that he gets in like a new documentary series or something to really put people on to what he was able to do in stages that people wouldn't even like take a chance with. Like people would think they looked ridiculous, or they thought that, you know, oh, this ain't gonna work. No, I'm me. I'm him. I'm gonna make this work. And he made it all work. And evil genius, because he was also a hell of a wrestling mind when it came to developing and helping stories and other talent, like multi-dimensional talent. And he was great, man. And it's a tough loss for the business, because that's somebody that people always went to when it came to just like ideas and wrestling advice and things of that nature. And now they don't have that. We're losing those like one by one. So, you know, I was on the way home from work, and then I saw the news, and I was like, we losing too many of these guys, man. Like, we losing too many of these anchors that really like saw visions before they were even visions. And he was one of them.
Yeah, helping the careers of people like Luna Vachon. I learned that from like the Dark Side of the Ring episode that they did on her. And he was a regular face that you used to see on Dark Side of the Ring over the last couple of seasons as well. So yes, RIP to Kevin Sullivan, the Taskmaster, and you know, our condolences and prayers to his family. We got I Make Beats in the chat who show yes, RIP to the devil himself, brother. I respect you, Booker Man. If you remember the Brian Pillman angle, I respect you, Booker Man. I Make Beats saying shout out to Wrestle Talk. Indeed, thank you, Wrestle Talk, for having me on Survival Series and Power Driver Finisher, showing me some love here. Mr. Bonda, one of our members, saying, "Hey, you smoked Wrestle Talk without breaking a sweat." SP, respect. Hey. I don't know how long we're going to hold the championship, but as long as I got it, as long as I want it, doesn't matter if I hold it for a day, a couple of minutes, I'm fine with it. I just am a little, I know why Josh is shaking his head. I just don't think I deserve the strike. I shouldn't have even gotten the strike.
That was a crock of shit, by the way. How the fuck Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen are considered pay-per-views? It was on fucking YouTube. I didn't pay for that shit. How was that pay-per-view?
I love it. This is why I let Josh talk for me.
And that's why the wrestling gods don't lie. He still fucking won. Even these motherfuckers be trying to cheat on some free shit. Understand the term pay per.
Pay-per-view. But here we are.
It was on fucking YouTube. It was on fucking YouTube.
Shit was on YouTube and fucking TNT.
I was like, I told him, I was like, it was for charity. It was for charity.
It was
like
fucking TNT, bro. That shit ain't no fucking. It's an event.
We got Big Red Dogs. He says, I wasn't even born then, but I love the Taskmaster, monster trucks, and not hot water. Everything. Yes, indeed. Those vignettes with Hogan with the Dungeon of Doom are hilarious.
Are those Big Man Dogs like 16, 17 years old?
We also got Chris in the chat.
Taskmaster shit is like the more memorable shit wrestling wise is like damn near 20 years old.
Yeah. Well, 30. 30. It's gonna be 30
20
next year. That was like
30,
95.
Hogan
It was
shit,
95.
people probably remember. Well, yeah, like 94, 95. Yeah. 20 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah.
30. 30 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Chris says, congratulations to Anna Jay winning her debut on Stardom this morning. Yes, AEW's Anna Jay over in Stardom's 5-star Grand Prix. I'm keeping up to date on the G1, guys, but I only have one screen, so we're going to talk about Stardom's 5-star Grand Prix next week's show. We're not going to talk about the start of the tournament on this week's show because I haven't been able to watch it, but I do have it on my watch list. I'm going to watch that for sure, as well as some of the Noah N1 stuff that I've been missing out. I just got to get through the G1. We got one more week of the G1, and I'll be on everything else going on with tournament season in Japan. But of course, we want to shout out all of you who support us here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, as well as across social media and our Patreon page. So we start things off with our Tru Heel roll call, our top 3 conversation starters over on the Tru Heel Heat, the Tru Heels group page over on Facebook. You got Joe Bellini, you got Patrick Eagle, and number 1, once again, Stewie John Palmer. Our Patreon backers, you got Vala B, you got Alan Weinstein, Negro Buck Nick Jackson, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Trey Jones, Robert Steve, Legarius, John, a.k.a. Rascalz, Dan, Kobe, Dolores, John Martin, DJ Eric, James, Allen, and Santo. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat, as well as I Make Beats, one of our newest Patreon backers as well. You $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best place to support us when we are not live here, but we are live right now. So let's get into what we missed. And we're going to start off with last Saturday, guys, where we left things off. We did our preview, our final predictions for SummerSlam last Saturday. So let's talk about SummerSlam 2024, which was last Saturday. And the show featured Cody Rhodes, who made a very dramatic walk through the back, final walk with Pharaoh, the great dog. He's going to head on home and take care of the family while Cody continues on the road. But he also ran into the one and only Enforcer, AA Arn Anderson, who gave him some well wishes before his main event matchup, where Cody Rhodes got some help from Kevin Owens and Randy Orton against the Bloodline as he defeated Solo Sikoa in a Bloodline rules matchup to retain the undisputed WWE Championship. But it was thanks in large part to the returning Roman Reigns, who came out and got revenge on that false chief, spearing Solo Sikoa to help Rhodes pick up the victory. Cody Rhodes once again retaining the undisputed WWE Championship in a match that Dave Meltzer rated 4 stars. We'll get into that in a little bit. Gunther beats Damian Priest in an excellent matchup to win the World Heavyweight Championship, but that was thanks to interference from Finn Balor, who finally betrayed his Judgment Day brethren in Priest, as Gunther has finally won the prize of the World Heavyweight Championship. Speaking of the Judgment Day betrayals, we kicked off SummerSlam with Liv Morgan defeating Rhea Ripley in a very good opener to retain the WWE Women's World Championship, thanks to an assist from Dominic Mysterio. Post-match, Dirty Dom became Daddy Dom by kissing Liv and leaving with her, leaving Rhea Ripley pissed and upset. As we kicked off the show, you also had Braun Breaker. He finally won the Intercontinental Championship, picking up a quick win over Sami Zayn. And the new champions just kept on rolling as Tiffany Stratton came out and looked like she was going to cash in Money in the Bank, but it was just a distraction for Nia Jax to defeat Bayley to win the WWE Women's Championship. And like I said, new champions galore on this show as LA Knight, overcame Machine Gun Kelly and all of Logan Paul's boys to defeat Logan Paul in a damn good matchup to win the United States Championship. And finally, Drew McIntyre, after being screwed over by CM Punk on 3 occasions, finally picked up a win over CM Punk in an emotional battle after Punk got distracted by his friendship bracelet and special guest referee Seth freaking Rollins, as Drew McIntyre picked up the victory over Punk and stole back that friendship bracelet. Top guy JJ, me and Josh, we did the review, so we want to hear your thoughts. What did you think about this year's 2024 SummerSlam over in Cleveland, Ohio?
This is why, to me, SummerSlam is like my second favorite, like, of the big four. Like, SummerSlam just has like this energy to it. Like, SummerSlam always just has like this cool, like, fast pace that it just feels like it doesn't feel like it's too long, even though this was actually, to their standards, one of their longer PLEs this year. But this was fun. Like, it was a good show, like good pace, good match card placement. Rhea and Dom, their story is gonna go on for a long time because, you know, someone in, you know, Liv Morgan, she's doing the best work of her career by far. Like, this is the best work of her career by far. Like she's been killing 2024. Like, she's been great. And at the end of it, damn, bro, she fucking gave this motherfucker tongue and everything, yo. That shit made motherfuckers jealous, B. Like, god damn, man, that wasn't even a TV kiss. That was a hotel kiss. Like, shit.
Well, she gave him the key the other week, so it made sense.
You know, they had plenty of practice. They had plenty of practice. But it was fun, man. It was the championship match, Damian Priest and Gunther, like, that shit was fucking fantastic, yo. Oh my, that was probably, besides like the Bad Bunny match, that was probably my favorite Damian Priest match in the WWE. Like, because to me, ain't nothing topping Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico. Like, that to me was his GOAT match. I was a little just disappointed in the timing of Braun and Sammy. Like, that was a squash match. Like, Sammy just basically gave up the title. Like, I don't know if that was due to other matches just being longer, but that was just like, damn, like, he just smoked Sammy. Nia and Bayley was good. Nia and Bayley was pretty good, you know. Obviously, with the Tiffy thing, I'm one of the few that didn't believe at all that Tiffy was gonna cash in. I just didn't think that she was. I was like, this is straight.
I don't think you were one of the few. I think a lot of people knew.
Yeah, I don't know.
She just got the new briefcase.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, she's definitely. This is definitely a distraction. Logan Paul, my God, this guy is fucking awesome, dude. Like, this guy is great, man. I don't care what, like, I'm pretty sure it is, like, if people watch wrestling, they appreciate Logan Paul, but this guy is like magic on the fucking camera, man. Like,
fuck Logan Paul.
I wish he wasn't an awful human being.
Yeah, but I don't know about his awful human being shit too much. I see what I see on television, on wrestling shows, but this guy is fucking good, man. And good for LA Knight finally getting a moment a year late, you know, but he got his moment. I was happy to see that. And exactly what I was thinking 3 weeks ago is exactly what came true to me. Is we got another solo match. Like, that match was arguably, outside of Braun and Sammy, might have been the worst match of the show.
I rated both matches the same, and I'm sorry. I rather watch a 5-minute matchup than a 30-minute.
Absolutely. And I would appreciate it more because it wasn't so fucking long. I almost like nothing about this match. I didn't like the pacing of the match. I didn't like Solo not even having an ounce of character in this match. I felt like Cody had to do too much, which then made it just almost impossible to make this good. It's almost like Solo got out of bed late or something. Like something like happened. Like, well, I mean, I guess this is probably just what people expected. But you would think you're in the main event of the second biggest show of the entire year that you would do something new, something different, have a different level of character. No, it's the same ass Solo that you're going to see on Friday nights. It's literally the same fucking thing. And it was just painful to watch this at the 3.5 hour of a fucking premium live event. And even the run-ins to me were poorly paced. Like, you can't have these fucking run-ins happen when you have 100-yard fucking ramp. Like, these motherfuckers needed to come through the crowd or something. Like that shit took forever for all of these niggas to come out. like Randy Orton looked like he was over it.
He's slapping 5. He did the Jeff Hardy save, where he had time to slap people's 5s and stuff instead of coming down to hurry up and help Cody.
Yeah, like it none of it. In my God, like put Tonga Loa back in the PC for like 6 months. Like my God, you can't even hit a turnbuckle spot, nigga. Like a turnbuckle spot. Like,
I think he's doing it on purpose. He has to be purposely this guy.
You can't repeat this fuckery. Like he is so bad. Like I didn't see as much of him as I'm seeing. I didn't realize how bad this guy is. Like he is.
But Josh knows. I tried to tell everybody.
Shit.
Temper your expectations of Tonga Loa.
This guy is fucking awful. And it made me fucking despise Solo even more because he got the best member of the Bloodline hurt. Like, we got Jacob Fatu hurt. I saw the shit immediately. Like, goddamn, this motherfucker, he ain't even selling all of that fucking diving. He ain't even getting up. I was like, this guy's hurt, man. This guy's fucking hurt. This shit sucks. And now Solo got this fucking, like, all of this is making Tama Tonga look worse. Like, this shit, like, this fuckery, like, because Tama Tonga was coming out, like, when he was alone, he was that dude.
Now, he was looking great when he was the first person to join with Solo, but WWE was like, oh, we fear that Jacob Fatu's debut is going to overshadow Solo. No, what it does is it exposes that Solo is not the guy. The guy is Jacob Fatu. Who he's really overshadowing is Tama. Tama was like a force to be reckoned with. He came off like a real savage, but when you have this 275 brick house who could do double jump moonsaults and whispers in the wind, then the guy that's just doing, hitting people really hard and acting like a savage like that, making weird noises, doesn't come off the same way that he would if he didn't have to stand next to this guy.
That's a fact, because it just makes the shit that Tama's doing less meaningful. And everybody's just looking for Jacob. We're just looking for Jacob. We're looking for Jacob. And it sucked that Jacob got hurt because we couldn't get to see that face-off between Roman and Jacob. Because, obviously, Jacob should have been involved in that little finish there. Like, Roman should have saved Cody from the 2 of them. But clearly, it changed to 1. So it's obviously, him just doing the damage. Roman coming out, the biggest pop of his fucking career, doing that shit. And my God, like the fucking people went fucking ape shit for Roman Reigns. And somewhere in the gates of hell, you got Mr. Redacted fucking smiling from ear to ear. Because this is all he ever wanted. This is all he ever wanted.
He looked at the TV at SummerSlam. He's like, I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
I knew I could do it, damn it.
That's my guy. It's my guy.
I knew I could do it, damn it. It's all me.
Honestly, I think overall SummerSlam was a really, really good show. Like I would easily give that somewhere between like an 8.5 and a 9 for me, just because of how much I enjoyed it. Like I really enjoyed it. Like, even though, like, it's like the Solo and Cody match wasn't gonna ruin the entire show for me, but it didn't enhance it. So the show could have damn near got a 9.5 to a 10. with all of the newness and everything and all of the new stories that SummerSlam created with 6 new champions. Like doing that obviously breathes light for a new day in the WWE, which I love seeing shit like that. I love seeing new days in the company. But Solo and Cody basically kept the score at a standstill. Like they didn't give it anything. And it's unfortunate because it's like, yo, Cody's working, man. Cody is working out there, bro. Like it ain't for lack of effort. I'm gonna tell you, it ain't for lack of effort. This is hard bringing a fucking whack heel to your level. It's hard. This dude ain't shit. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Solo needs to be going for the 3rd level championship belt of the company that they haven't made yet. So if they make like if SmackDown got like the US title, if they make like a Florida championship or some shit, they need to have Solo fucking go and win that shit. Because no, this is the last main event I want to see Solo in for a long time.
Hey, he had a 4-star match according to Dave Meltzer. Josh, any additional thoughts on SummerSlam, and where does it rank for you as far as the WWE PLEs in 2024?
As far as ranking, probably the 2nd best out of the year. I think it's right behind WrestleMania Night 2. But yeah, most of my thoughts are still the same. Main event was the worst match of the night, easily. So when I saw it was 4 stars, and for someone tried to co-sign it to try to defend his argument, still didn't go his way.
I just swatted that out the way. Like, come on, man. Like, at this point, we understand Dave Meltzer has people that he really likes. Like, for all the people that be like, oh, Dave really likes Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. No, you want to know the people Dave really, really likes? Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes. Because he's been overrating these niggas all year long. Jericho got 4 stars with Minoru Suzuki. All they did was slap each other in the chest for like 10 minutes. He got 4.25 with Konosuke Takeshita, even though it felt like Takeshita was wrestling a bag of groceries. Then you got Cody, who had one of the best main events of the night, but an all-time crowd with AJ Styles in France. He got 5 stars for that. I was like, okay, Dave. Okay, you didn't give 5 stars to Cody and Roman, which is one of the best WrestleMania main events of all time. But you gave 5 stars the next month to him and AJ. It was like it was like, I owe you this. Here's the one I didn't give you for Roman. I'm gonna give you here because the crowd was great. That doesn't have anything to do with the guys in the ring. What are you talking about, Dave? 4 stars? This shit. It was 16 minutes. This crowd was asleep for 16 minutes or looking at the entranceway.
What did y'all give it? Because I would have given this match like 2.5.
I gave it 2 3/4.
Okay, so you gave Solo 1/4 of a star. Okay, cool. Yeah. Because I literally gave Cody the 2.5.
Yeah. I gave it 2. I gave that and Braun and Sammy 2 3/4 stars. And like I said before,
for both different reasons.
I rather watch a 2 3/4 star 5-minute matchup that all it needed was 5 more minutes to be a better matchup than a 30-minute main event 2 3/4 star matchup that needed to cut off 10 minutes.
You know what? Really, there wasn't a single point in that match where it looked like Solo was even gonna remotely be close to winning. Not a moment in the match. You can't give me a spot, a moment, a sequence, a turn of anything that was like Solo almost had that. Solo almost had that.
He gave the match the match that almost killed AEW in Las Vegas last year. Adam Cole and Chris Jericho at Double or Nothing last year. He gave that 4 stars. Thus making my argument very clear to y'all. He loves Chris Jericho. He loves Cody Rhodes. He said Cody is a bigger babyface than John Cena ever was. Now there's an argument that you can make for that, but that is, you are showing your hand to me, Dave. You're showing me that you are very much, and it's the fact that this same week that he gave Solo and Cody 4 stars. The day before on Wrestling Observer Radio, he said, I watched that G1 matchup with Takeshita and ELP, and I realized I'm overrating WWE. Only to overrate a WWE match that everyone online did not like. Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer. Exactly. Just stay as Dave Meltzer.
Oh,
This is
and
more of y'all need to more of y'all.
And he also shows he also shows his dislike for certain people. Like he gave Punk and Drew 3 stars, and
yes,
that was way better than. No, he gave it 3 stars. Now, not only he gave it 3 stars, but then there was a YouTube video from the Wrestling Observer saying how the match was bad. Like legit, the headline was like. They said it was disappointed. They said it was disappointed.
Even though that crowd in Cleveland didn't sound like they were disappointed.
Good. That was a damn good match.
I gave that 4 stars. It was like,
and that was my match of the night. That was my match of the night.
I wouldn't argue that. My personal favorite of the night was Gunther and fucking Damien.
Mine too.
But 3. Yeah,
he gave it 3.
Dave,
he legit gave it 3.
He must hate Punk.
Oh, he does. He definitely does. He's like,
and I think he probably used like the whole like because there were times where Punk was a little rusty at the same time. I mean, the man is like 45, and he did come back from another major injury. So when it comes to that, like I usually cut slack on that because I'm like I don't expect Punk to be a ring general. His thing is more storytelling. He carries his matches with storytelling, and that's what he did. That's what both guys did.
Story.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they did. You know, like that's what the whole match did. So I personally don't know what he was looking for when it comes to this because there are times where he explains himself. So this is one of those things where I'm like, all right, you gave it 3 stars. I want you to explain yourself why you gave it 3 stars. I don't think it was 3 stars. I thought again, it was my match of the night. And that's why I was like alluded to he also shows his dislikes for certain people because remember every time the shit was going down with AEW and Punk, it was always them reporting it first, like backstage drama again.
And that's why Punk don't like them. Punk don't like them either.
This nigga really thinks that with a straight face he would really be on a fucking podium or a screen and say that Cody and Solo's match was better than Punk and McIntyre's?
Yep. That's what he told us. He told us in his star ratings, but I think we spent enough time talking about Dave Meltzer's star rating.
He's no eye dominant. Like there's people that's like left eye dominant, there's people that's right eye dominant, and the way you find that out is you point somewhere, and if it's aligned with that eye, you're that eye dominant. If you didn't know, a little food for thought. But he's no eye dominant. That nigga's no eye dominant. Like that. No. There's no explanation. There's no explanation that would say that shit that we watched at the end of the night, except for the arrival of the OTC, made that shit worth anything.
Yeah, and sometimes you just rate it on the return or the ending of it, and that's what he does.
So
I didn't like the bracelet.
So he gave the match 2 stars, and he gave Roman an additional 2 stars.
Yeah, Roman's return got 4 stars.
Roman's return got
when it comes to
the match. Okay.
And then also I just wanted to add it because I did see if people did talk about the bracelet thing. Yeah, for me, to be honest with you, the bracelet thing is a little corny because it was like, bro, like you're going hard for a bracelet. So that's why somebody tried to post something about like a fan giving it to him and shit. I mean, I get it. I get why people will find it corny, but my thing was more of the reason why I like the match is because it was fucking Phil screwing Phil. It was like this was the whole thing about CM Punk making shit about himself and costing the match. That's what I personally liked about the match because I'm like, yes, they're finally doing something with this piece of shit, with this piece of shit, with this whole happy-go-lucky Punk. Like, no, I want the bitter Phil. That's the Phil that I like. I want that. And this is what we got, even though he lost. That's still what I got. So that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, I thought it fit perfectly with their story because this entire fucking
with the story, it fits with the story.
It's been nothing. It's all emotion.
Yeah.
Emotion cost him, and he did it to himself.
Yeah.
Like it came full
and
circle.
Phil, and Phil,
how does that not make sense?
Phil always thinks he's either the hero or the victim. So he was both the hero in his mind and the victim in his mind in that matchup. So it fit. But like I said, I think we spent enough time talking about Dave and his star ratings, talking about SummerSlam, because there was a big news story this week coming out of everything that went down at SummerSlam. And I think we got to run in. Did you drop something? Oh, you dropped your fingers?
I guess this nigga Dave is a fucking trigger point now, I guess. This dude's a fucking clown, bro.
You want to say hi to everybody?
What's that?
Say hi, JJ.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Hey, Harlem.
What are you giving me?
Figures.
Figures? What type of figures? You want to show the people the figures?
And the stand up. And the stand up. We got the stand up and the stand up.
Where's your magical drink today?
No magical drinks, right? None of that. Mommy not letting you make it.
Got this. Got the pick this right there.
And you got to tell the people to send super chats.
Send super chat in my figure.
Send super chats for more figures.
More figures.
Yeah, super chat.
And that's inside. And there's another one inside.
Oh, you have another one inside? Is it an inside out figure?
No, it's
Oh, it's over there. Okay, you gonna come back?
no, I got the Disney toys.
Oh, okay.
I get them.
Okay.
I think
You wanna tell the
that
people?
I think that was to the producer. I think that definitely was Robo.
Then
I think that was Robo Duck from DuckTales.
stand up and let's put them right there.
And you have inside out. You have sadness.
Oh, we got the figures in there.
Okay, you want to put it on my table over here?
And let's put it in the table.
Mhm.
Oh no,
Hey, he's gonna keep falling.
he's falling.
Okay, let's put her here.
We put this one,
And you want to show? You got to show them. You got to say Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, and this one.
Show them. Show them.
We want to put
I'm not gonna lie. I'm more interested in this than the solo match.
We want this one
And we got Daisy Duck
and this one.
and
This
Oh my
one.
God,
Okay,
how
this
many
one.
figures did you get her?
Together.
this is like 10 she just put over here. But you want to say hi to someone else? Look, Krissi's here. Say hi, Krssi.
Hi, Krssi. Hi,
Harlem.
We got Disney figures.
I know I saw them. They're so adorable, like you.
She literally went to my missus and said, "It's Krssi."
Oh,
Oh,
hey peeps, how y'all doing?
what
today?
up, girl?
Sorry.
Welcome,
Sun
Krssi.
sun glaring through.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, because my screen, my background, it had me looking like I ain't got no body or whatever. Look like I'm like a bobblehead, like I look like a hologram. So I was like, let me just turn it off.
Glasses.
So yeah. So
Okay,
how's everybody today?
Doing great, man. We just ranted for like fucking 15 minutes of this show about this dick shit
SummerSlam?
named Meltzer. No,
Yeah, about
we spent
SummerSlam.
about 20 minutes on almost like 20 on SummerSlam, which was a great show.
I got
Yeah.
And then they fucking try to spoil my feeling about it by just talking about this clown Dave Meltzer.
Oh, what did Dave say? Oh no, sorry.
Dave gave the main event 4 stars. That's what was really the topic.
I know
of
you
discussion.
lying.
Yes, he did. He did. Because I tried to explain to everybody. He loves Cody Rhodes. That's what their thing is. He loves Cody Rhodes.
Right.
Okay,
And
that's fine.
Do you like Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
And he rated Punk and Drew 3.
How, Sway? How?
Good question. Good question.
And that was a better match. More story to be told. Like, wow.
It's Dave. But we do have a super chat donation here. They heard the call from Harlem, so they're sending it out. Thank you, I Make Beats, who says a donation for the run-in. The run-ins are
Thank you.
what draws. It's the biggest draw of our channel. Apparently, that's what people keep telling me. We also got another super chat donation here from Belle. Thank you so much, Belle, who says,
Thank you,
"I was
Belle.
told to send a super chat."
Hey,
You the best.
following
We
orders.
appreciate you.
Great.
You want to show them you want to show everybody else the shoes?
My shoes.
I see you have cats on your clothes. Oh, you got cute with Crocs. Oh, that's adorable. Is that
Oh,
like
you
the
got
Inside Out
the
characters?
giblets
Yes,
on there?
it's the Inside Out characters on here.
Oh, your emotions are on your feet. Got it.
And sadness. Yep.
Sad.
All right. Love you.
Is there anyone that said that this match was good?
Outside of Dave, no.
Okay, and that's
And I'm
fair.
not even sure if Dave thought it was good. I think you just gave it the Cody Rhodes bump. But like I said, we got a big news topic to talk about. So good timing on Krssi to join us now, because last week on this show, me, Josh, and Krssi were asked to give our percentage from 0 to 100 about these individuals leaving the promotion that they were currently signed in. And then we gave an answer of 90 to 100. We were wrong. Because figure4online.com. Oh, we got an umbrella now. You can't. Why do you have an umbrella? It's not even raining.
That's bad luck.
It's bad to have an umbrella open.
That's bad luck.
All right. I was gonna say you're Marty Scurll, but that's a bad comparison.
Oh, SP's internet is about to go out in like 5 minutes because of that.
Figure4online.com reports that former AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Brothers, Penta El Zero Mero, and Rey Fénix are believed to soon be leaving All Elite Wrestling, and they could be found in WWE. It was previously rumored that Penta's AEW contract would be up around August or September. Fénix's contract is believed to be up near the end of the year. Per Brian Alvarez, the internal belief with AEW is that the former tag team and world trio champions are leaving AEW, and they will likely sign with WWE after contract expires. This was first reported by Ibu of WrestlePeris, so shout outs to them. Shout outs to WrestlePeris. Shout outs to Ibu, who's been doing a lot of great work with his reporting as of late. Earlier this week, he reported on Monday that they were likely leaving AEW and heading to WWE. Additionally, a trios championship matchup that was set for the tag team at All In has reportedly it's not raining inside. Was reportedly changed due to their status of them leaving the promotion. And Fightful Select had an update on the recent rumors about the Lucha Brothers. Penta El Zero Mero and Rey Fénix are expected to be leaving AEW and heading for WWE once their contracts expire. With regards to their contracts, it's currently believed that Penta's AEW deal will expire first, while Fénix's contract expires in September. Fightful notes that AEW wanted to re-up both wrestlers, but the process was repeatedly delayed by both Fénix and Penta. In recent weeks, it was reportedly became evident that the two weren't looking to re-sign with All Elite Wrestling, which was signified by AAA booker Conan. He wrote on social media a couple of months back, what goes around comes around. And then in the end of July, he put out another tweet that said, what goes around comes around too. Additionally, Fightful reports that there have been discussions internally in WWE about bringing in the Lucha Bros. WWE sources reportedly believe that Fénix and Penta want to be a package deal in WWE and also do not want to go to NXT. Also, one source who is close to the wrestler says that it wouldn't be surprising to see this individual in Orlando to prepare for the defection sooner rather than later. Additionally, multiple sources close to the Lucha Bros have said that the wrestlers have been very open in claiming they've already had talks with WWE despite still being under contract with AEW. And there even is a preliminary offer on the table. The offer is reportedly similar to what AEW offered them to renew their contracts. When WWE was reached for comment, Fightful reports that WWE wouldn't comment on the matter because you can't admit that you're contract tampering. The Lucha Brothers have been part of AEW since the company began, appearing on AEW's very first pay-per-view event, Double or Nothing 2019, where they lost to the Young Bucks. During their run, they became the AEW World Tag Team Champions by defeating the Young Bucks in a very memorable steel cage match back at All Out 2021, and held the AEW World Trios titles with Pac as part of the Death Triangle stable. And Rey Fenix is also a former AEW International Champion as well. This was a shocking reveal by Evil of Wrestle Paris. Once again, shout out to him for the report on Monday. But like the further confirmation from Wrestling Observer and Fightful makes it seem evident. How surprised are you, Krssi? Because I know this is probably the first you're really hearing about this, about the Lucha Bros about to leave AEW to head to WWE.
I'm actually very shocked and really sad that they're actually going there, because once they go to WWE, I hope they're not like dumbed down and like have to like not do their type of wrestling. And I hope they don't put them in wrestling with all of the other, you know, Spanish people or Latinos. Am I saying it right now? Yes. I don't want them facing each other every other week. Every week.
Phantasma.
Yeah. Andrade. I can go on. You know, like so yeah, I just think it's gonna I hope maybe they'll go to Raw, and like since we're doing the whole Netflix deal, they want to try to like spruce it up and like do something different. I see what you're doing, Paul, but I don't really have the faith that you'll pull it off. I could be wrong. I can eat crow, that's fine, you know, but I mean, I'm very shocked though. But I guess the dollar bills is what, you know, they haven't been on this platform. So, you know, money talks. So, you know, it's a good down payment to happiness.
Josh, what about you? How surprised were you about this report and everything that's come out since then about Lucha Bros wanting to be a package deal, not willing to go to NXT, which I think is the wisest decision. You've been on national TV for 5 years. You shouldn't go to NXT. It's a little different than the Julias and the Stephanie Vicares of the world. Josh, what do you think about all of this?
I agree with that.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I really thought they were going to stay because, you know, even if they stay with AEW, there's more opportunities outside of that. You know, if you sign with WWE, there's less opportunities. And you know, they usually will, you know, cut that out. A lot of stuff that you want to do outside, they will kind of put a hold on that. But I mean, realistically, these guys are getting older. You know, Penta, I mean, obviously has been in the wrestling game for as long as he's been. You know, and I don't think this is something I know like a lot of people were alluding to when it comes to AEW. I don't think it's something like that AEW did wrong. I just think it's part of the business. They're in a situation where they want to try new things. And I think that's where they're at. I think that's where they're at now. As for them going as a package deal, realistically, I'm not surprised on that, because the reason why they started working together was more so because of Pentagon. The reason why you don't see as many singles matches with Pentagon is because he wants like less strain on his body. That's the reason why he paired up with Phoenix. A lot of people might not know that, but that's the reason why. Because there's a lot of times, like a few shows that I've worked, and Penta's been there, and you know, one of the nicest guys that you can meet. And that was one of the reasons too. Like that was one of the reasons why he started working with his brother a lot. When it comes to Rey Fenix, I think when it comes to those two, I think Phoenix is a little bit better because he takes more risk. But then that's part of the problem too. That's why he gets injured a lot. And every time Phoenix has a match, I told Sid about this before too. I'm like, I fucking get worried because something always happens that you always hear, Phoenix is going to be out for a few weeks because he took a bad bump. And that's always been the story of his career. So as far as them going to WWE, You know, going to the main roster is deserving. I don't want to. They're going to NXT. That's a downgrade. Regardless of what people want to say, people want to bring up these weird dream matches, but I'm just like, bro, like NXT is their fucking development. At the end of the day, their fucking development. That's
They've never been on TV. They need to be over
they're above that at this point. Yeah. They're above that at this point, in my opinion. So it's like I wouldn't want them to go to NXT. I think going to the main roster, yeah. It's just more of what the hell they're gonna do with them in the main roster. That's the only thing. Because we could talk about like, yeah, WWE is getting these tag teams. Then it's about what you do with them. And I still haven't seen like we're seeing like the teams getting together, but we haven't seen anything. Like we haven't seen anything, you know, like come together yet, right? Or we don't even know if it's gonna happen. It could be just them getting these signings. All right, we're just gonna get them, and then they're just, you know, they're on fucking standby mode when it comes to the tag team division. But overall, I mean, you know, when it comes to their AEW run, I mean, they've basically done it all. They've been tag team champions. They've been trios champions. I mean, it's like, you know, would I like for them to stay? Yeah, because they're the originals. Right? They've been there since day one. But at the same time, I'm like, the AEW never dropped the ball on them. The AEW gave them what they wanted. And I think, you know, it's just a situation where I think it's just business. I think that's just what it comes down to. If these guys want to try new things and they want to go to WWE, by all means, there's nothing wrong with that. If AEW really wants to keep them, they will try to re-sign them. They can. But then at the end of the day, it's more of the Lucha Bros' decision what they want to do. So it's like we could debate all this all we want. At the end of the day, it's their decision, and then they decide to go, and everything is true, then they're gonna end up going. And in regards to them being open about like, oh yeah, we've been speaking to WWE. We could talk about WWE tampering all we want. At the end of the day, if Tony Khan's not gonna do anything about that, if he's not gonna take any type of legal action about that, it's not gonna mean anything. And that's how I see it when it comes to that.
Yeah, he can complain all he wants unless you're gonna talk to your lawyer and say like, you gotta stop this and take some type of legal action. Yeah, it's a moot point at this point. Top guy JJ, how surprised are you to hear about the Lucha Bros departure from AEW, or expected departure from AEW, and their jump over to WWE? And what do you think about their prospects in WWE?
Truthfully, not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. Like there comes a time when it's time. Like we have seen wrestling for too long to kind of understand where it's like, I'm tired of being tired. And it's like when you do the same thing for the same place over and over and over and over, and you want to try new things out, it comes at the expense of some people. And they're not any less talented than they were 5 years ago. They might be a little bit more banged up than they were 5 years ago. But the difference is, like, to me, when you go to a place like WWE and you have a place like AEW is more profound with their match types. Like, so they have the better in-ring work. They have more, like, almost like more requirements for you to deliver really in the ring. And in WWE, it's almost like they pick and choose when to have these big moments in big spots. So they're not required to do that weekly. So if they turn that into every week into now, here, just do this on the PLEs, yeah, exactly what Penta is looking for is what he would get by going to the WWE, is he would only have to go all out like once every 4 weeks. Instead of literally every night, every show, every event he goes to, he's got to not cheat the fans to a degree, because that's who they came to see. That's one of the main attractions. And when you do that, it's taxing on your body that you got to do this night in, night out, match in, match out. If one, you're going to go collect a shit ton of money from the WWE because you got names for yourselves. You're older in the game. They've been in the business about 15 years? Like they didn't just start off in AEW. These motherfuckers were killing it in Lucha Underground forever. Like Lucha Underground was taxing as hell Like that shit was violent, brutal. So when you go to AEW, they still had these crazy ass fucking matches. It's like it didn't stop. WWE, it wouldn't stop, but it would drastically decrease. Like it would drastically decrease, and the presentation is gonna matter to them. But I think it's almost like when you are older in life, it's almost like you're looking for a retirement package. If you get a good retirement package, and I get a good 4 to 5 years out of them, and I'm qualified to get X and X benefits and all of this shit, you fucking take it, bro. Like you take it, and then now you go enjoy life with your family. You go and raise your fucking family the way you would want to, because now you could be home. Like, you know, it's almost like it would suck. It's gonna suck for some fans because they're not gonna get to see the Lucha Bros in AEW, you know, in the near future. But you know, it's just like the same thing that was talked about the Motor City Machine Guns. The same thing that was talked about with Adam Copeland. It's like you get more experience and you get more tax done to your body. Yo, you got to take, you know, Adam's a little different because Adam just wanted to try something new. He wanted to try something new, and the newer shit he's trying, he just got crazier. So it's like he's like doing the opposite. But I think with these tag teams here, like if they just go to a different place with a different pace, and it's relied on more character work and development of a tag team that needs the development, they need the fucking help, then it would almost become like a win-win. And obviously that simple fear is there of them just being there and being another team, or just being there and being on like a fucking like main event or some shit, and fucking being on the undercard or whatever. But you know, it's almost like if you have enough talent, you believe in it, fucking go for it and do it, and the shit will pay off. Like everybody thought, you know, to a degree that they just threw DIY under the fucking water, and then they come out like, you know, they were just tag team champions. They're in the hunt for the tag titles again. So like they're it's almost like trying to find a spot for them, and they're almost like trying to find a spot for that tag team. So it's like, you know, I think Josh said it too. Like when business changes a little bit, you just have to adapt and understand. If you're not a part of that business mode, then it might be okay to venture out, you know, somewhere else and look for new, fresh opportunities, because now you're a new face in a new place.
Yeah, that's what Lashley's doing himself.
Yeah,
and
we've seen it. We've seen it the opposite. Yeah. We've seen it the opposite way, with people leaving WWE to go to AEW because they are a different style that they want to explore in. So I am all for the Lucha Bros getting their bag.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a positive sign for professional wrestling that these guys were in AEW for 5 years, earned their name, elevated their star power there, and now they can get a big money deal in WWE. A big money deal in WWE that they probably wouldn't have gotten in 2019, just coming off of their run in TNA.
Yeah, you know,
the record money that they're getting, the record money that the company is making, these contracts are only going to be bigger.
Yeah, so that's it, because they're getting money everywhere now, and they keep going to Saudi Arabia.
Record money. Like you landed a $5 billion fucking deal with Netflix. Like what the fuck? That they're going to be bleeding money. Like they're just going to have a fucking money fountain there, basically. So if you could go cash in on some of that and still perform at the thing that you love to do, and it feels like okay-ish to go there and not have that fucking demon looming over you, then fucking, if it feels safer, then fucking do it. Like, you know, because most people weren't even thinking about that place because of fucking Redacted. They weren't even thinking about going there because it's like that motherfucker exists. Now it's almost like, yo, this motherfucker is really gone.
Yeah.
Let's go maybe give this a shot. Like,
yeah.
You can never be mad at someone.
Yeah, I think
you can never be mad at them for going getting the bag and like going somewhere else. Like they have not been to this part of like the wrestling trajectory of like wrestling is concerned. Like there's so many platforms and outlets. I guess they're like, okay, if this is the Pinnacle, and let's just see what the Pinnacle gonna give. They're gonna give us the bag. Let's go over there and make money. I can see my family probably a little bit longer or more. Maybe they're all in Florida because they know how everyone lives in Florida. So,
including Terrence.
Yeah, we don't speak about him really like that no more.
We good on that. Josh, you had something to add?
Yeah, and then I just wanted to say about like the whole thing about like this thing, or again, like what I said earlier, when it comes to like AEW not keeping them or losing them, I just don't think it's a negative. Like I don't think it's a negative as people might say or seem it is. At the end of the day, again, they basically did it all in AEW. I mean, it's like, what else do you want them to do, right? When it comes to like, if people think they dropped the ball on them, because I don't think they dropped the ball.
I don't think they dropped the ball or fumbled them. I think they could have done more.
You know,
could have done more with them as individuals and as a tag team. I really feel FTR coming in took their spot. Because it was Young Bucks and Lucha Bros were the top 2 tag teams.
That's true. That is very true.
No. And FTR came in, that took that second spot, and Lucha Bros had to fall down.
No. And I was gonna say, like, the only thing you could really say is their singles run. But like I said earlier, with Pentagon, it wasn't gonna happen as much. Like we've seen like singles matches, but anything like long term with Pentagon, it wasn't gonna happen, and that's why you see him in a tag team. Most of his matches are tag team matches because of that. So I mean, that's the only thing you could really say. But when it comes to comparison, like if people say like, oh, you know, they dropped the ball on this or that, I'm like, no, they didn't. Like they were treated better than a lot of tag teams has been treated in that company. So I'm like, right at the end, I'm like, so I don't think it's so much of a bad thing. But then also I wanted to add to Bitman Dog's comment earlier where he was like, SRS mentioned about like the tampering, like, oh, that it's not a thing that they mention in wrestling, is more in the NBA. Yeah, it's more mentioned in the NBA because there's just a rule in the NBA. But then again, even in the NBA, there's no harsh penalties,
right?
Like when it comes to tampering. But but the whole aspect of it is that if Lucha Pros are having conversations with WWE while they're under contracts, no matter what, that's considered tampering. And from there, it's just a matter of if the company themselves are going to take legal action about that, because no matter what, that's tampering. They're on contract talents talk with another company talking about getting another contract. That's, you know, and a lot of businesses.
And you have to put all the reports together. They basically have been delaying like the real negotiation talks with AEW as far as a new contract. And by the 2 reports of that, and then them saying, oh yeah, we have been talking to WWE, it's not out the realm of possibility that they are using whatever AEW tells them that they're offering them to go to WWE and be like, yo, they offering me this. Can you offer me this or more? Yeah, they are playing
and vice versa.
Sides.
And vice versa.
On their part, that's no problem. That's no
issue.
And
vice versa.
The issue is between the 2 different companies. It's not on the Lucha Bros. The Lucha Bros are doing their due diligence, but you also have to take into account that AEW, you got to do something if that's a possibility that more people down the line can do.
And to a point that Josh even made earlier, like in something that you just talked about singles runs. If it's just taxing on Penta's body to do this stuff as a tag team, and he mentioned literally in a conversation that he wanted to do the tag stuff so it's less taxing on him as an individual, then clearly those conversations happen backstage too, which is probably hence why these runs did not happen. Like sometimes you put one and one together, and there's probably a reason why certain things aren't taking place. It's got to take both sides. They're not going to just be like, here, don't use me for fucking 2-3 months. These motherfuckers is healing, bro. These motherfuckers is healing. Like, these motherfuckers go, like, the shit that they go through in that ring, and the spots that they go through in that ring is fucking horrible. It's horrible. So when they get this time off and they get written off TV, is to fucking heal.
To
Once
rest.
they heal, but then also they usually have visa issues too. There's a lot of
Yeah.
times it's always like a visa issue. But like even so, like with the Lucha Bros, like this is a thing that's been going on even since Impact Wrestling. So when they got to Impact Wrestling and became a tag team, that's part of the reason why. So this is like a long-term thing that it's been going on with them. Which I'm not saying like Penta can't wrestle singles. He can't wrestle singles matches anymore. It's just he wants to do less of it. But now if he goes to WWE, who knows where his mindset will be? Because again, there's more opportunities. There's more singles matches he could have too that could be awesome. But as in like if it's gonna elevate him or not, that's a different story. You know what I mean? Like you could have great matches, but then it's like, what's gonna happen? Like, are you gonna get a big push, or are you just gonna be the guy like, hey, this is a great worker, work with him, and then somebody beats you is gonna mean something because of your your background and what you've done in the business. So I mean that's a whole different kind of topic when it comes to what's going to happen with them in WWE if they decide to really go. But yeah, like if they decide to go, they decide to go. I'm not going to be mad at it.
Yeah. Isn't this great for wrestling?
Yes.
I mean, it should be a great thing. It should be. But the problem is that because we're in the age of tribalism and this whole thing, that's what makes this whole thing like kind of like muddy. Because people are so heavy on it. Like so I think like people like us, I don't give a fuck about the tribalism because I mean I watch both companies.
Right.
So, like,
that's the thing. People don't watch
like,
both things.
So like why would I
complain.
be upset? Like how am I gonna look that I'm upset that somebody from AEW goes to WWE, but yeah, I'm still watching WWE.
Yeah, I'm still gonna see them. I'm not like I'm gonna miss them. Like I thought the Lucha Bros would stay in AEW, but that doesn't mean I'm upset that they're going to WWE.
It's fucking new. Yeah. It's their fucking lives. Like they're fucking making these decisions. And that to me is why I love wrestling so much, is because it usually outside of like Dijak, outside of him, it's usually a decision made by both parties. They usually have conversations and have these conclusions. And usually both sides are okay. And they will end up being okay. And if both sides can fucking be happy, then why the fuck can't we?
Yep. That
Absolutely.
part.
We do have a super chat donation here from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says, so are we going to get a Lucha House Party 2.0? And do they fit better on Raw?
That's that Vince shit. That'd be that Vince shit.
No, it's a very funny question because it's not a Vince shit. Let's be real. Triple H has put all the fucking Mexicans in the Mexican mid-card vortex for fucking a year. Like, I'm sorry, I am triggered every time I see. Like, I thought Andrade and Santos had a really good matchup yesterday, but I was like, oh no, it's Andrade.
You're feeling it.
Mid-card vortex.
You're feeling it.
Like, so no, I'm sorry. They did Legado and LWO for 6 fucking months last year. Like, I was over it. No one got over. They got less over. LWO at the start of 2023 was one of the most popular factions. They were selling those LWO shirts like hotcakes, and then they got into a feud with Legado for 6 months, and it killed them dead. And no one talks about the LWO anymore. Ricochet just left this company, and everybody and their mama thought, oh, the new #1 high flyer is going to be Dragon Lee. How many times has Dragon Lee been on our TV since Ricochet left 8 weeks ago?
Wait,
0.
Company?
0.
Sorry.
He's still there?
I thought it was still 1. Sorry.
Exactly.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know he was still there. That's why I was like, wait, what?
So that is the Vince that is still in Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
I said it on that episode we talked about Lashley and
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
I was like, Triple H learned how to do this from Vince McMahon. We gotta stop acting like he learned how to book from someone else. He learned how to book from Vince McMahon.
And it's funny that it's because he puts the Mexicans and Latinos all together. He puts the blacks and the fucking internationals together. You know, it just seems like it's a thing that they just can't escape from. Like, how much would have a fucking Santos Escobar and Logan Paul match have slapped? Like, oh my god, that shit would have been great. I'm sorry if you don't like the guy, but that shit would have been fantastic, and it would have been outside the fucking demo.
Yeah,
It would have been outside the fuck. Like, so yeah, that shit has been true for decades upon decades, and it doesn't seem like it's changing anytime soon.
I would say Raw because they would have more time
Raw.
to wrestle.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
They'll give them at least
And
30 minutes for
I think they kind of need
main
it.
event.
They Raw would need like more tag teams because right now in the Raw scene, who they really have as a tag team. It kind of seems like SmackDown has more the tag teams right now. But I mean, even with that, it's like
Yeah, they have the New Day. They got AOP. They got Judgment Day, and they got.
And then with
Awesome
them, like, but New Day and AOP, they've been in a fucking feud. Like how long has been their feud too? It's like
2 months.
Been like since
like yo, it feels like it's been forever.
It feels like.
That's been going on way too long. Way too long. But,
and if you saw Miz's expression after Raw, he's sick of the Awesome Truth. He's sick to death of the Awesome Truth. He's over it.
I think we all are. I think
we've been all.
I mean, it's gone way longer than it should have. To be honest with you, it's gone way longer than it should have at this point. I mean, hey, I respect Truth, but it's like I could see why he was used in small doses and comedy stuff. I can't like long term. Forget about it. It's overbearing at this point when it comes to Truth.
Here we are. We got another super chat donation from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries. You always deliver in showing your support. He says, do you guys see WWE trying to focus on more on the tag team division on the main roster? Krssi Luv, I know you review SmackDown, which, like Josh is right, they have a lot of different tag teams. Do you see like the fact that WWE has like a Lucha Bros coming in, has possibly Motor City Machine Guns coming in? Can they change the trajectory on the tag team division?
I think they should. You have more tag teams that can be showcased. You don't always have to have like a night of like singles matches. You can have one singles matches and have everything else be a tag team. Like write them in there some kind of way. Like have these like feuds to make great tag team, stories. Like why can't we revert to that? Like we've had great tag teams where it's been done. You can do it, but I wouldn't send them to NXT. I think Lucha Bros would be best on Raw, and send the Motor City Machine Guns to probably SmackDown.
I could see that. That would make a lot of sense. I'm hoping for the best for the tag team division.
I feel so bad for like the Street Profits. Like that's terrible. Like that, it's like
they just need to break them up. Like let's pull the Band-Aid off. Just break them up.
I think both need to be broken up. Both Theory and Grayson, and then the Street Profits. I wouldn't break them up, but I would let him like go on like his let
Montez needs a run.
Thank you.
I disagree with A-Town Down Under because I feel like they're better together than they would be separate.
Yes, I do.
You know what? You're right. Because they'll get lost in the sauce as they're separate. So if you leave them together and let them do stupid parodies and do stupid things, they'll be better as good heels and be antagonize and get on people's nerves.
And the thing with Montez is like we've been saying this for a long time, but then now it's getting to a point that it's like.
You kind of holding this man back.
It kind of just feels like that ship has sailed at this point. So like when he finally gets to run, like is it going to mean anything? Because I think if they would have pulled the trigger earlier, then I think it would have meant something. But now it's kind of like the longer you wait, then it's like by the time it happens, it's not going to mean anything.
Yeah, because it's like the longer it waits, it's like he's gonna have more years in. Like they need to get this done while the man is in his prime. Like and it's not a knock on Angelo Dawkins.
No, it's not. Yeah,
it's how good Montez Ford is. Montez Ford is too good to not be a star. Like, he's way too good to not have the attention of the fucking universe on him. Like, it's just, he is that good. Like, you can't keep him in this vortex forever. Like, they're literally, it's like they have a key for him and they just swallowed it.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know how to unlock him, or they just won't for whatever reason. Like, because the man can talk, the man has the look, and he is phenomenal in the ring. Like, he has literally all three pieces that you would need in a superstar.
Yeah,
He is
does.
a superstar.
Yeah.
And they just don't fucking, and that's why and I don't care how long it takes, it's just going to be frustrating for me not to ever see it, because we know what this man is capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna get into SmackDown shortly here. We just have one news note before we get to that. But I made the joke, and Josh will get this because we've been talking about this, and Krssi, we've been talking about this for weeks on here. I said, watching Montez last night on SmackDown, I was like, he's WWE's version of Anthony Bowens. Just get him out of that damn tag team. He's the star.
Yeah, he's
like,
the star, and yeah, because Max Caster, he's the Dawkins. Yeah, he's like, all you do is rap. Like, other than that, you don't do anything else.
Caster talks, it irritates me.
Yes,
like
he doesn't know how to talk without saying you listen.
Even though with me, even though with me, I think I'm more on the bias side of things of Bowens, just because I do consider Anthony Bowens one of my great friends. Unlike when Romeo says Jordan Grace is his good friend. So this is a guy that I actually know, but I mean, he showed it blood and guts. I've been telling people, I'm like, yo, this guy is good. He's fucking good. You got an opportunity, he's good. And I'm not just saying that. I'm like, he proved it. And it's getting to a point. I'm like, yeah, they split the Acclaim. I wouldn't be too mad because it's getting to a point that when you see them on TV, it's getting like, it's kind of one of those things where it becomes like when you see them on screen, you generally starting to dislike it because of Max Caster, because he's a fucking dick at this point.
Yo,
so
dude,
I mean,
seeing that Instagram post after Blood and Guts and him, we got dubbed of the MVP.
That's right.
Yo,
that's right.
I yelled I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, I just didn't even want to hear this man. I was like, stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking.
And then Bowens cuts a great promo right after that.
Took over.
I was like, how did we get from these guys was paired together because Bowens was the better in-ring worker, Caster was the better talker, to Bowens is both now. Like, he's gone
you
now.
gotta give him a little bit of time. Like, once Bowens found his itch, that's all he needed. And now, like,
he's never been a bad talker. Like, Bowens has never really been a bad talker. It's just the opportunity hasn't really been there for him to talk.
Yeah, presented itself.
He's becoming great at it. And Caster is just fucking cringe. Like, oh my god.
Final news note from SummerSlam: the aforementioned injury, the Jacob Fatu we had to mention here that JJ brought up. There appeared to be some questions surrounding Jacob Fatu and whether he was legitimately injured during his table spot that took place in the main event at last Saturday's WWE SummerSlam 2024. It was later rumored that Jacob Fatu did plan on selling a leg injury after the table spot, but it's unknown if it was to the extent of what we saw on TV. A video clip has surfaced online showing one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions wearing a medical belt following SummerSlam. Fatu appeared to get hurt during his splash off the top rope through Cody Rhodes on a table. And during the post-show press conference, WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H said that Jacob Fatu was quote-unquote banged up following the event. Dave Meltzer reported additional details regarding Jacob Fatu on Tuesday's Wrestling Observer Radio. According to Meltzer on Jacob Fatu, whatever it is, it wasn't deemed that bad, whatever that means. Meltzer also confirmed suspicions that the plan was to have Fatu sell the table spot outside to keep him away from the returning Roman Reigns. Meltzer added on Fatu, I was told he was hurting, but I was also told he wasn't that bad. Meltzer also reported that he asked about Fatu's legs, and they said, "We'll see."
What's this, Mommy?
That's Johnny, the producer.
What's their names?
That's Krssi, that's JJ, and that's Josh. You know them.
Yeah.
You just said hi to them earlier. You want to make us some money? So send a super chat for more figures.
And send to super chat for most figures.
Good job.
Figures.
Good job. You want to take one of your figures with you, or you want to keep them here? Okay, that's fair. She wants to keep them here. All right, thank you.
Yeah, man. It just sucks that they got to take the fucking titles off these fucking.
No, they don't. It looks like they're doing a free bird from SmackDown last night. They're gonna put it on. They're gonna put it on Tonga Loa.
We gotta see Tonga in the ring.
Speaking of which, let's talk about.
That sometimes has on an eye patch and sometimes doesn't.
We'll talk about.
Are we gonna talk about that? Because no one said anything. I just want to,
We'll talk about more about Jacob Fatu when we learn more information. But WWE SmackDown last night, the show featured the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes coming off his win at SummerSlam, kicking off to announce who he wanted to defend the undisputed WWE Championship against next. However, Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline interrupted, looking for another shot before Cody told him off, said that he got Jacob Fatu injured and he got Roman Reigns on the warpath. And also, Kevin Owens had his back, leading to Rhodes informing Owens that he wanted him to face him for the WWE Championship next. Owens rejected the offer, saying that he doesn't deserve it due to his win-loss record, but Cody insisted and went to GM Nick Aldis to make the match official, despite Owens once again fighting back against being given an opportunity, until Aldis suggested that Roman Reigns get the shot next. Owens got fired up, saying that there was other people in the locker room that deserved the chance, and Aldis made the match official. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed WWE Championship coming up at Bash in Berlin. And apparently this was all an idea from Cody Rhodes to goat Kevin Owens into this matchup. LA Knight, with a new remix theme song, had his first promo as United States champion that was interrupted by Santos Escobar. This led to Escobar beating Andrade in a very fun Lucha Libre-based matchup to become the #1 contender for Knight's title, thanks to outside interference from none other than Carmelo Hayes. You had the Street Profits. They beat A-Town Down Under in tag team action between the two former champions, as well as the former WWE Tag Team Champions. DIY defeated Pretty Deadly to set up DIY versus the Profits to determine the #1 contenders for the Bloodline's WWE Tag Team titles. And then finally, you had first you did have a vignette that aired for the returning Giovanni Vinci, going back to his NXT gimmick on the Blue brand, and the show ended with Solo Sikoa calling out Roman Reigns, who made his triumphant return to the Blue brand. He laid out the Tongans. He got the better of Solo when he got in the ring with him, and then completely destroyed Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa with a big old spear through the barricade, and then hit Tonga a bunch of times with a steel chair to stand tall to close the show, to a huge reaction from that crowd in Tulsa, Oklahoma, who were chanting OTC, OTC, OTC. Mm-hmm. That was so organic, and I loved it. I was like, yeah, he's here. The biggest babyface. Cody, move over. You ain't the top guy anymore. Sorry, Josh. Put your ones up. Cody's time is up.
Definitely not.
JJ, what did you think about SmackDown and the OTC being back on the Blu-ray?
Loved it. From just knew that I was not expecting to see that big ass OTC on the monitor, and it was like, that's it. That's them feeding. That's them feeding the fuel for this OTC to become what it happened to become. Literally, like 2 minutes later.
Everything and
it was
leave.
great to see. And I hope that beating that Roman gave Tonga Loa wrote him off TV. I hope that beating, because he fucking hit that motherfucker like 30 times with that chair.
He did.
I hope that was to write his sorry ass off TV so he can go back to the PC and actually
Not
learn
happening,
how to
friend.
fucking use the
Not
20
happening.
by 20. Like, because he motherfucker gets in the ring, bro.
I know what you're gonna say, JJ.
This nigga can't even put up the title right. Like, can you do anything right? Can you nigga put up the title with both hands, knowing they're the fucking bloodline? You're supposed to put your fucking ones up. This nigga puts up both. Like, can you do anything right?
Guys,
You can't
give
even-
the guy some credit. Like, he hasn't
No,
done... Okay,
hell
fine.
no. That motherfucker is awful. Like,
Okay.
god damn, can he do anything? Well, you know what? He took the beating right, so at least he did that. He took the ass whooping right. Like, he did that much. But my god, like this guy, like, he just irks me, yo. like get something done correctly. Like, shit. But
JJ, tell him how you really feel. Just tell him how you really fucking feel.
I clear, and you know what? He needs to put the patch on the other eye, because clearly he ain't fucking.
Because I'm like,
right.
is the patch like a real like thing? Like, is that like on purpose? Like, you wear it, like 1 week you have it on, another week you could see. I'm like,
like
he's, you know who he reminds me of? What's the guy
Christ.
that's on AEW and he's like one of like the training.
Rocky Romero.
There you go, that one. Yep. Marky Romero doesn't even need an eye patch, but he clearly, wears one as like the aesthetics. But when you wrestle, he don't wear it.
That nigga needs to put the patch over the other eye and see if he can see through that one. Because the shit ain't working.
What did you think about the Cody Kevin Owens setup for Bash in Berlin?
I don't know. I thought it was kind of lame. Yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I think the matchup itself would be cool, but it's just the way it happened. It was kind of like what? Like,
the begging of it all. So that's the
it's
part
like,
with it.
I was like, okay, cool. I guess like you need something for him to do, and I guess this is the route that they're going. All right, cool. We're getting Cody versus KO, and Cody's gonna win anyway. So, all right, cool. That's just that's how I feel about it.
Do you think Owens will turn heel?
I don't know if he should. Just because like the whole thing, like Orton is still probably the next one up. So that'd be kind of weird. You have KO turn heel, and then you're gonna have Orton turn heel. I don't know. It's just a weird thing at the moment. Maybe he'll turn heel within the feud. Like he's the heel within the feud, maybe. And he's pissed off because, even though it'd be kind of funny, like you turn heel because you were given a title opportunity and you were upset that you weren't deserving of it, so you turn heel. All right,
that's
cool.
a pretty dumb reason. That is a pretty dumb reason.
You see, but you see where I'm going with this, right? Like this is why to me it was kind of like the whole thing is just like I don't know. I thought they could have done something better. They could have done something way better.
I liked it. I thought it fit Kevin.
I liked
Kevin
it too.
Owens.
Same.
Kevin Owens is the Deadpool of WWE. He acknowledges the fourth wall. He doesn't deserve a shot at the WWE.
No, I like all that stuff. I get. It's just the way they went about it. It's like I don't know. I'm not too fond of it. Like I like the matchup itself. The matchup is great, and I think the matchup would be fun. It was just I don't know.
I like it more for what it may. I like it more for what it may lead to because of what happened on Raw with Orton going after the World Championship. But this could lead to Orton being like why does KO get the shot at the WWE title? I've been staring at the WWE title, side-eyeing that shit for months. Like, why did KO get it before me? Wherein
Your ass
logically,
went
Cody.
to Raw, nigga.
But
Yeah,
that's the
that
thing.
part.
That's the thing. That's the
shit,
thing.
yo.
That's what I was gonna explain. Logically, Cody's like, you got the shot there. I'm giving the shot to KO. But in Orton's mind, he could be like, oh, you letting KO get one first before me? You said you owe both of us a debt last week.
It could be.
He said
It
he
could be.
owed both of us
Yeah.
a debt. So that could be used as a parlay when Orton does lose
And
to turn on Cody.
yeah, and I mean, and it also kind of makes more sense with Orton using that as the turn heel, because it's just like, bro, like you could, because you know sometimes the heels are delusional, and this will be him being delusional. So in that aspect, I do get it. Do I think they will go that route? Probably not.
Also
Delusion,
also
yeah,
true.
delusion, yeah, typical. Yeah, I mean, it would be typical. I mean, I do like that Cody rewarded Kevin Owens this because of how much he's had his fucking back basically since WrestleMania.
As long as not solo.
He's had his
again.
back for 4 months. He's had his back for 4 months. So it's like, yo, here, I money ain't gonna do you any good because you got enough of that shit. Here, let me give you a shot at what the fuck we in the business for.
Yeah,
That part. Yeah.
I like it. We got a super chat donation from Big Hero Chris, who says, "Ooh, ah."
Oh, that's so stupid.
Yo, everybody was saying that. SummerSlam last night on SmackDown is the biggest thing. You also got a super chat donation from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says they are slowly planting the seeds for a slithering apex predator to strike and turn on Cody.
I mean, you would hope so. I mean, you will hope that's the plan. You will hope that's the plan. It's just
he's gonna be mad at Cody for losing to Gunther.
Yep. Because you could have gave me a shot. I didn't know you were gonna give Kevin Owens a shot. I would have stayed on SmackDown and got my shot there instead of going after this ring general over here.
I would have been like, I would have been like, then your shoulders would have been down to begin with. Then this would have happened.
Yep, that part.
Yo.
He can't control his own shoulders, man. He had a history of shoulder injuries, you know. But speaking of Roman Reigns' return, there was a report about Roman Reigns debuting a new theme song. If you heard at SummerSlam, they had a more kind of remix theme, the one that he used at WrestleMania 40. He used it there. He also used it on SmackDown. But according to Fightful Select, according to sources in the company, there is a new full theme song produced for the WWE star who returned at SummerSlam. According to the report, the music is ready to use whenever WWE wants to. One source called the theme song expansive and lengthy. That's what she said, to say the least. It's not yet clear if the song will be used for Reigns' return on these next couple of SmackDowns, or in fact at all.
They're gonna use that shit at the Berlin show.
WWE previously had a new theme song for Randy Orton that got shut down. So that may be the case with this new theme for Roman Reigns. I like the new expansive version that they have from WrestleMania. I like the fact that they're using this now as his regular theme song, because that entrance on SmackDown, that shit felt godly. He felt like a god coming out there.
It did though. And the people just went batshit crazy because that's what they was waiting for all night anyway. So
felt like Goku was about to come out and fuck up all the minions.
It just tells me the new theme is trash and they don't want to use it. They could just say that.
Oh,
also true. Could be
okay,
that.
Josh.
I'm just
saying.
saying.
You're not gonna talk about the squash
It's
match
Def Rebel. It's Def
had,
fucking
right?
Rebel. It's Def fucking Rebel, right? How many things had they had that it's been good? It's been more bad than good from them.
The Roman theme was made by Def Rebel, and that's great.
Right.
Yeah, but then knowing their track record is probably downhill from there.
It's all right, guys. Josh is feeling the pressure. He's feeling the pressure. He's feeling the pressure. That's why he's acting salty.
No, actually, no. This is not me being salty. I'm just saying that.
He knows Cody's time is up.
No, I'm just saying that this theme is trash. I'm just saying that probably the new theme is trash. That's why they haven't used it. I mean, come on, Roman ain't winning the title back. Like that ship has sailed. He's not winning it back.
He don't have to be win the
title. To be
number one.
He's gonna
be number one.
I mean, he's not gonna win it back. He's gonna face Solo in WrestleMania. That's okay. Like that's good for him. That's a step up for him.
I don't know anymore. I think he's going for his Jacob Fatu. I don't even know. I think Solo lost his
I think
his
Solo
WrestleMania
was in the bell
gonna
ring,
get
as
Solo out the way
Valapi
at
would say.
Survivor
And the
Series.
bell
I mean-
ring, and it just
I mean, that's always been Solo. I mean, that's always been Solo when the bell rings. It's just that SummerSlam kind of just proved it more.
Exposed
Solidified
it to
it.
the world.
It was reported last year that LA Knight, was in contract negotiations with WWE for a new 5-year contract, although the two sides never came to an agreement at the time. Fightful Select reports that the negotiations have changed during this summer. Last year, the two sides were falling apart on money. However, Knight has reportedly restructured and extended his WWE deal for a huge increase in money. His original contract was set to expire in early 2025. A significant amount of time has been added to that, along with the increase in pay. Knight will stay in the company for a number of years, and he used an agent for the new deal, and negotiations started up again after WrestleMania. Well, that's a sign that things are changing, because we heard enough in WWE this year of them cutting it very close to the bone. In fact, Becky Lynch currently doesn't have a deal, and scared some people at the beginning of the week. So it sounded like she was retiring, but apparently that was just for her A&E special. But LA Knight is staying for a long time. So yeah,
That's great.
Congrats to him.
That's great.
Someone who didn't get a new WWE deal, though, is Bobby Lashley. Fightful Select had an update on his WWE contract. According to the latest report, Lashley's WWE deal will be up later this weekend. Fightful notes that WWE sources who they spoke to during SummerSlam weekend were of the belief that Lashley would be leaving the company. Additionally, there were no other creative plans for him moving forward. Also, it said that he's been a topic of discussion backstage already in All Elite Wrestling since word on his expired contract status surfaced. However, AEW has yet to make an offer to Lashley, as he's still under contract with WWE at the moment. There is also reportedly interest in Lashley from the combat sports world and Japan. Sources close to Lashley informed Fightful that they believe Lashley will at least make one appearance in All Elite Wrestling, and he's also reportedly ready to make his TV return. Bobby Lashley recently compared and contrasted his working relationships with Vince McMahon and Triple H. Lashley appeared on the Laboratory podcast, and during the conversation, he was asked about who he connects with more between Vince McMahon and Triple H. He said, and I quote, "If I say the wrong thing right now," ha 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 ha, starts laughing, "I had a connection with Vince. Vince understood me. Vince was big on the show. He looked at people that were stars. He saw that in me. They were a lot of little nuggets that Vince would give me throughout my career and tell me different things. Vince looked at me like, I can tell Bobby works his ass off. I can send him anywhere around the country to represent the brand. He looked at me like a star. I like Vince." On Triple H, he said, "I haven't really had too much of a connection with Hunter. Hunter has his guys. I've tried to, but we really haven't worked enough together to get to know each other."
AKA,
I mean-
he doesn't like black people.
Hunter has his guys. Did sound like you people. I was one of you people.
He has his. That's what I got from it. I mean,
did we just hear an endorsement for Redacted?
Yes. Yeah. He even preferenced it like, I'm gonna get
Why
in
his
trouble
ass
for what I'm
ain't
about
staying
to
in the
say.
company. That's why his ass ain't staying there. That's why his ass ain't staying there.
There
Well,
you
I mean,
have it.
it's not surprising what Lashley said. I mean,
and
you've been seeing it.
the thing.
You see the difference once Lashley got,
with the
once things started working for Lashley, you saw where it went and got him two 3 championships. And then now with Triple H, it was like they put him in this stable, and then shit
Nothing
went
happened.
absolutely nowhere.
Yep.
You kind of see it.
It does make sense to a degree, even though I hate to admit it. It's
Yeah.
just because Lashley has had a connection with this guy for damn near 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, so he's been involved since like WrestleMania, like what, 21, 22 or something like that.
Excuse me.
So he's been in, contact and conversations with him for way longer than he has with Triple H. So unfortunately, you could see where he's coming from, but it's still like, ugh. It still hurts the fucking eardrum that there's an endorsement for him, but it does make sense when you actually think about it, because he's been in a relationship with Vince way longer than he has with Triple H.
Thanks. Going over to Monday Night Raw this week, the show did 1.724 million viewers on Sci-Fi, one of their biggest ratings of the year. The show featured the Judgment Day Implosion Fallout, with Damian Priest looking for revenge against Finn Balor, who explained why he turned on Priest, saying that it was payback for Priest costing him the world title last year. He also introduced the new Judgment Day of JD McDonough, Carlito, Dominic Mysterio, and Liv Morgan. And then this all led to Priest going one-on-one with JD McDonough, getting the win via disqualification after interference from Finn. However, the Judgment Day used the numbers advantage against Priest. Priest almost got the better of them until Dominic Mysterio hit him from behind as Dominic and Liv were attacking Priest. Then Rhea Ripley made the save for Priest, and the Terror Twins stood tall against their former Judgment Day stablemates in a wild Attitude Era-esque fallout post-match to this matchup. This was hot. This crowd was eating this all up, and they also ate up the in-ring debut of the Wyatt Sicks, who actually had a good match to the surprise of me. Against American-made Chad Gable and the Creed brothers in the main event, with Dexter Lumis getting the 1-2-3. 11 years after the Wyatt family made their debut in Baltimore, Maryland, it was the Wyatt Sicks getting the victory to end Monday Night Raw this week. Gunther kicked off the show as the new World Heavyweight Champion until he was interrupted by Randy Orton, who brought up the Ring General's controversial win against him in the King of the Ring finals before challenging Gunther for Bash in Berlin, which Gunther accepted. What a match we're going to see in 3 weeks' time. You also had Sheamus. He picked up a victory over Ludwig Kaiser in an awesome banger of a matchup.
Banger after banger.
You also had the New Day beat AOP thanks to an assist from Odyssey Jones. Yes, Odyssey Jones has come out the Odyssey and had an impressive showing in his debut on Monday Night Raw.
Sorry.
Then you had Seth freaking Rollins. He confronted CM Punk following SummerSlam until Drew McIntyre talked enough trash about the bracelet and Punk's family to have CM Punk chase after him. But this led to one of the best angles of the year as Bronson Reed attacked Seth in an incredible beatdown where he delivered not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, 6 tsunamis on Seth Rollins, to a huge reaction from this Baltimore crowd. He caused internal bleeding to Seth and came off like an absolute star, like a future main eventer in this angle here as he decimated the former World Heavyweight Champion. JJ, what did you think about Bronson Reed's big moment? Probably the best moment of his whole WWE run.
So, this was probably my favorite Raw of the year.
Wow.
I say it was second. It was second to Rock made Cody bleed in the rain. It's still number one.
Yeah, so
you're right. You're right.
Look at your boy now.
It feels like such a distant, but my God, like, one, Baltimore's crowd was fucking amazing.
On fire.
Like, amazing. Like, they were great. Like, and the show, like, to me, didn't feel like it had like many dull moments for the entire show. And then
it ran like effortless.
Fucking Odyssey showed out. Fucking Ludwig and Sheamus fucking had a fucking banger. Then you got this fucking random appearance from Randy Orton. And then this, I was speechless. watching what fucking Brunson did, and I fucking shitted on him last time I was here too. And the last time I saw him, and then he pulls this off, like I was like, damn, you might have just converted me, bro, because that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Like he turned people into being angry, to being annoyed, to loving him, all in one sequence. Because the fucking pop that he got after he was done, and the crowd chanting one more time, and he did it one more time, and then he did it one more time, and then he did it one more time, and then they chanted it again, and then he did it again.
Why didn't they roll him out the ring? I was like, yo, was he supposed to do 6 of them? I don't know if he was supposed to do 6 of those things, guys. I think he just did those just to do them.
I love the officials just scattering out the way. As
they let him do these things. Right, that's what I'm saying. You know how many times they could have rolled Seth Rollins out of the ring? No, they left his ass there. Some officials you guys are. Everybody getting rid of. Everybody. You didn't even do your damn job.
All right, let you see a 400-pound motherfucker coming off fucking 9 feet in the air, and let me see you roll him out the way. You know how that shit takes effort to roll somebody out the way? You gonna get hit with a tsunami too. Like, you don't want that. Fuck that. He's already taken fucking 1,000 of them. He can take 1,001. He'll live. Was amazing. He'll live. Like that shit was. He'll live. Awesome. Like the pay, I thoroughly like loved, and I don't.
I love Baltimore. Baltimore was great. Yeah, they were great.
Raw was awesome this week. Like it to me was really good.
Can we just say that Adam Copeland is just sitting somewhere very happy and pleased that where these two have come from and what they're doing right now?
That's the other question I have in the chat. Like after that segment on Monday Night Raw, I was like, can the Judgment Day be the bloodline of Monday Night Raw?
And then before
I think they can, but go ahead.
So much. Why I love this episode so much too, and this is obviously post Bloodline. Like Bloodline shit was like ruling everything.
Yes.
But it finally feels like Finn is doing something important.
Thank you.
Like it finally feels like he's doing something important, and it's like, yo, this show just hit.
And he's like the leader. He's the one that's in charge. Yes.
This shit feel like it hit on every
Post Bullet Club. Like, come on, something.
Yeah. This was
give my man something to do. Don't let him be lost in the sauce in the back.
Perfect. Yeah. This to me was a damn near perfect episode of Raw. Like to me, like this was awesome.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Awesome Truth being on this show, I would have probably given it a 10 out of 10.
I don't even remember that. I don't even remember.
Yeah. That's why it didn't make my notes because I knew that happened.
SP, now you know how to trigger people, and why you gotta be?
No, I'm just saying. That's why I said. That's why I didn't give it a purpose for it. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I deducted a point because they had Awesome Truth on the show. But no, the Judgment Day, man, the Terror Twins are just going to be red hot baby faces. Like Damian Priest, for all the stuff we said wrong about his Money in the Bank run and his world title run, he has come out of his World Heavyweight Championship run a bigger and more sympathetic baby face. And he comes off like the Puerto Rican badass that they were kind of portraying him in the rivalry with Gunther. And he felt like that on Raw. And I agree with you. Finn Balor and his explanation was great. His explanation was great. I held on to this for a year. And it stole your shot, stole your opportunity right from under you a year later. And that was just a great explanation.
He said, I'm not going to do anything while you're expecting it. You're going to be going to get groceries. You're going to be fucking in a park. I'm going to do it when you feel comfortable. And as soon as he came out to his little entrance and he felt comfortable, bam! His ass. Yo, loved it. It was great, man. Great. There's so many layers on this episode of Raw, man. I love this episode.
Yeah. Josh, what do you think? Do you think that the Judgment Day can be as big, if not as big, as compelling of a story with the whole fallout from the implosion from SummerSlam as the Bloodline saga has been for SmackDown all these years?
No. but it doesn't. Need to be. But it doesn't need to be, right? It's its own thing. I think the Bloodline has done so many things that is like it's really hard to even like not only compare, but it's like I think that's like an unfair kind of thing to even like try to like put together. So I think it needs to be its own thing. And if it's its own thing, guess what? People are gonna love it. And you know, we saw it firsthand Monday night, you know, like that segment. Even when Damian won his match, you saw what happened when they got together. To me, it's just more funny because now like you have Damian and Rhea together, and they were probably the two best wrestlers out of that stable anyway. The rest of them are just bums, and that's what makes it more funny to me.
He's a rest of them bums.
I mean, they are. I mean, how many times did they lose? They were losing. They were losing all the time, right? So like that's
Finn's
what makes
Finn's a great wrestler. Finn is probably the best wrestler, but they have booked him like shit.
I mean,
and they got the women's champion.
I mean, that's the thing. That's when it comes to Finn. Finn is not a bad wrestler. It's just when it comes to him and Damian, who's gotten the bigger push? It's been Damian. So in regards to that, like how like that has come together is just more funny to me when it comes. It's not a bad thing. A lot of us saw it coming. A lot of us did see that. Hey, that Damian and Rhea were clearly the favorite of that group because they were kind of teasing them as being faces anyway. So this direction makes the most sense. But again, like I said, it doesn't need to be like what the Bloodline is. It's his own thing, and I like it. I prefer that more than anything. He said, "Don't." I mean, Finn's a fucking bum. Let's look at last year.
Oh my God! What's going on? This blasphemy.
Look at his last year. Come on. Come on,
son.
No, he's a bum. He's a bum. He's a bum.
It's the booking.
No, it's a booking. That's what I'm saying. He's a bum when it comes to that. He's a bum. Like we're talking about
booking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's a bum. He's a bum. How many times he lost to stuff last year? How many opportunities he had with his titles?
Pick up a briefcase. He could not pick up a briefcase.
He's a bum. He's a bum.
It was really bad. It was really bad how they. Yes, he became Finn Balor. Finn Balor.
Yes, he definitely was Finn Balor. You're right.
And then even WrestleMania, like the wrong guy went over in that match. By the way, the wrong guy went over
with him and Ed.
It's just like again, it's not so much what I'm talking about. Is not so much of his wrestling. It's the fucking booking. And how many times have we seen? How many times have we seen like, hey, there's a little bit of hope with Finn, and then guess what? He goes back to being a bum. At this point, he's a bum. Like it's okay to say that he's a bum.
I'm not saying that, but whatever.
Oh no, I'm saying that, and I get where he's coming from. I like Finn. I like Finn, but he's a bum. Like when it comes to like his run, he's a bum.
This is why we have Josh on the show. He says it with his chest.
You don't like Finn.
Yes, I do.
Let's just say you don't like Finn, bro.
No, I mean I like Finn. I mean I like Finn, but I'm being honest. I'm like, hey guys, how many family members have we that we say, hey, we love this person, but they're a disappointment. That's all it is.
Oh, shit. Yo. No, sir, I'm not. You know what?
Yo, Josh is jumping all the way out the window with this one.
This is a Jimmy Baccarat as rant by Josh. I love Josh right now.
Right, but am I lying about that? Right, we could like somebody, but then it's like, oh yeah,
family disappointment.
Like, it's okay to say it. It's okay to say it.
Oh my God. Yes, Josh is like me. Stands on his feet.
Yeah, 10 toes down, not respected. Like you can't get mad at him for it. Like you know, whatever.
Oh my God! Yes, if I'll be mentioning Finn lost via an act of God, dude. He was a bum for years.
Oh my God, this is not even necessary, guys.
That's how they killed the demon. They did kill the demon with that shit, but.
Yeah, that was bad. That was probably for me. I think that's where I was like, I lost all hope when it comes to like what they were gonna do with the man. But I mean, again, he wasn't gonna beat he was not gonna beat Roman. But I was like, after that, it was like, it's done. It's done.
Couple of news notes coming off of Raw for us to regroup.
Somebody. See what fucking does
during Tuesday's
I'm not even gonna say anything.
Yo, Josh ain't called nobody a bum for the entire 2 hours we've been.
Yeah, that we've been on. Yeah, and he called us a whole ass bum. Like you know how many bums we talked about before we got here? Come on, yo.
Jerry.
I mean, hey, I'm just saying.
Yo,
Hey,
Talking
hey.
about
When,
bad
I mean, when it comes to that,
Come on,
to be fair, when it comes to that, when it comes to the topic, and we're gonna call it like it is, I'm just calling it like it is.
I don't know
Okay.
what's funnier.
I'm just calling it like it
looking
is.
him And Krssi being tight as hell.
During Tuesday's Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that Bronson Reed's beatdown of Seth Rollins on Monday's episode of Raw were designed to explain injuries to him. According to Meltzer, Rollins is dealing with an actual injury, and the segment was done to explain his absence from the ring. It is unknown how long he will be out of action. The newest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter includes an update on Seth Rollins after the injury angle, where he was demolished by Bronson Reed. Meltzer writes that the angle was to cover for a legitimate injury that Rollins is dealing with. Though Rollins is cleared to wrestle, he's banged up and is expected to miss some time. He wrote, and I quote, "Rollins is cleared but is still banged up and is trying to get in the best physical condition. His issues are chronic, but not at the point to getting flagged. He's trying to stay ahead of the things, so we'll be taking a little time off. We're not sure if he'll be back for the pay-per-view or not, but if he is, it would now seem to be with Reed and not with CM Punk, which makes the Punk finish even more just a way to get out of a match and having Punk lose. Although they no doubt will get to Punk versus Rollins at some point. After WrestleMania 40, of course, Rollins underwent knee surgery to repair a torn meniscus. He returned for a matchup against Damian Priest at Money in the Bank last month. That's the only time Rollins has wrestled since WrestleMania, and he was, of course, the special guest referee for CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, where Punk gave him the GTS after an argument between the two. I mean, just give this guy a day off. Like, give him a... Why did y'all rush him back? Y'all rushed him back for that? For one match?
Stupid.
And honestly, he wasn't in shape.
No, we literally said that on our review of Money in the Bank, that he looked bloated. He looked like he wasn't in the best way.
He did.
He looked bloated. Damn, not bloated. Shit.
Yeah, he did.
He
was slower. Yeah.
I got that tummy. I got the pandemic. I still got my pandemic tummy. That's what he had.
Not the You know what? Okay.
Yeah, it's just weird.
If I suck it in a little bit, you can see the abs that I used to have. That's how Seth looked.
Yeah, because honestly, it's a little weird to me because they're saying that they rushed him and all this stuff, right? But my thing is like, did you really need him that bad that you brought him back to in his condition, and then he still clearly was not 100%? I don't know, bro. He could have just kept him in the sideline and just be healthy and be back in ring shape, because he clearly hasn't looked like he's been ready.
They probably just need to protect Seth from Seth at this point. Like, Seth is probably the one that wants to just get out there and be in front of the fans and have people singing his song and eating that up. Like, bro, be at home, rehab, spend time with your daughter, man. Just
you said rehab.
Just take a
break.
break,
up daddy.
Yeah, I can see it on both ends. I'm saying I can see it on both ends. I can see it on both ends that it's part of it is, Seth being stubborn, and the company's not gonna like really tell him no, but then at some point you're gonna have to tell him no, because I'm like, I mean,
bro, I promise we're not going to
ready.
forget you. We're not going to forget who you are if you take 6 months away. We're not going to forget who you are. If you heal up out of Royal Rumble or some shit and be back for WrestleMania season, no one's going to forget you. You're still going to get an insane pop when you come back.
And you're still going to get your match with Phil. Don't worry. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Definitely. I agree.
That's a whole different topic, because Phil is still wrestling. Dave Meltzer, though.
For now.
Stop it, yo! You guys are on something this morning. I don't understand.
I was happy he made it through the match.
Same.
Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio also reported that the segment on Raw where Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, and Zoe Stark attacked Dakota Kai was to make up for her also being injured, and it was a way to write her off. It's unknown what injury she is currently dealing with. Fightful Select had additional backstage details, and they reported that Kai is still currently listed on the active roster, and it's unknown why she was taken out. So best wishes to Dakota Kai as well. And then Finally, Brock Lesnar has been on hiatus from WWE since the Janelle Grant lawsuit against Vince McMahon. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that there was a conversation related to a surprise at the Royal Rumble, which wouldn't be able to happen currently. At this point, Lesnar can't be used until those are in charge and others in legal change their minds. And once that happens, he'll be back quickly. So we'll keep you updated on the latest with Brock Lesnar and the latest with those injuries of Seth Rollins and Dakota Kai. But finally, from WWE NXT Great American Bash Night 2, the show did 534,000 viewers on Sci-Fi, and the show featured Axiom and Nathan Frazier defeating MSK in a super fun main event to retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. Post-match is what everybody was talking about after the show, though, as the Rascalz all hugged it out until Wesley turned around and delivered a super kick to Trey Miguel and a low blow to Zachary Wentz, officially turning his back on the Rascalz. He then proceeded to give a brutal beatdown to his former friends, beating them both up, destroying the barricade, putting the double knees to the head of Zachary Wentz on the steel steps to close the show. You also had Ethan Page pick up the victory over Ora Mensa in a decent match to retain the NXT Championship. Kalani Jordan retained the NXT Women's North American Championship by defeating Tatum Paxley, while Pete Dunne picked up the win over Trick Williams in a very good opener to the show as they continue their rivalry. So what do you guys think about the Rascalz breakup? I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming at all.
Why you did it so fast? Like they literally together for like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
bro, they was like, have your fun. They're back together. Oh, now they're not. Hey,
it was sudden.
I like it because I didn't see it coming.
It was sudden. Yeah, it was sudden. And it's gonna, challenge the new character that Wesley is gonna have to create now.
Yeah.
And, I think over the last like 3-4 months when he's been coming out, he's been kind of saying that he's been cutting basically the exact same promo. It's basically copy and paste. And now he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to fucking pander to the fucking audience. He doesn't have to fucking, validate himself and his credentials to the people. And he doesn't have to beg for anything or fucking seek one more opportunity. Nah, just go and fucking do it now. Just go take it. Fuck these motherfucking people. Fucking, I dug it. I dug it because I was like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, I fucked with it.
He needed an attitude adjustment because him coming out there.
Sure,
okay. I'm not sure if I'm cut for this, guys. And it
makes sense. It makes sense because he was on the verge of leaving, and then they brought him back. They made him all happy-go-lucky, but he still had that darkness festering within him. And he was just like, no, you guys are actually holding me back. I can't go back with this rascal bullshit. I can't smoke weed with my friends anymore. I got to get a real job.
He caught a case of the fuck it's, bro. Like, fuck it, yo.
Y'all, I don't understand this. Like, okay.
I can't smoke weed. I can't smoke weed with my friends. I've been at that point. Y'all remember my crib? JJ remember my crib in the Bronx. I used to have friends over all the time smoking weed. Then I got a girl and a wife. I kind of had to have a real job. I couldn't smoke weed with my friends anymore. I didn't betray them though. I just stopped hanging out with them.
You can't just go to everybody's crib on the weekend and fucking roll up like 5-6 blunts and have like 7-8 drinks. Because now got lives. Now you know what?
I had to grow up. You had to grow up. Okay, got it.
Respectfully, fuck y'all.
Right.
Respectfully, but NXT is also growing up, it seems. WWE announced this week that NXT is making some big moves for the weekly show that's going to be debuting on the CW in October. The kickoff of the CW era on October 1st will take place from Chicago, Illinois at the All-State Arena for their premiere on the CW. That show will include CM Punk on hand for the hometown crowd in Chicago. Chicago. Also on NXT, we'll be going to St. Louis, Missouri the following week on October 8th, where they'll be going head-to-head with AEW Title Tuesday, and that will include Randy Orton on the show. NXT makes its live debut
So out
on the
of place.
CW on Tuesday, October 1st, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Fightful Select had an update on the backstage reaction to the announcement. Per the report, there was said to be a general sense of excitement for NXT going back on the road. While WWE has announced the October 1st and 8th shows will be outside of Orlando, it's currently unknown if this will be a permanent change. Additionally, Fightful Report says that WWE sources expect that both shows on October 1st and 8th will feature more talent appearing from the main roster than just CM Punk and Randy Orton. Also, the October 8th show, of course, like I said, is going against AEW Dynamite, so expect plenty of main roster talent on that one so they can smash AEW in the ring.
Undertaker's
You
going to
know
come
they
back to
haters.
NXT. Undertaker's coming back to NXT. We're going to get the OTC on NXT.
Imagine. Oh, it's
We're
over.
going to get the
It's the
OTC
wrap.
on NXT.
Get up, AEW. It's over.
Yo, the producer just said you kicked G in the nuts.
I would never, G. I know G is watching. I would never kick you in the nuts like Wesley did. The WWE and TNA crossover is slated to continue as the two promotions work together by sending talent to work at each other's shows. Of course, we've had Jordan Grace. Joe Hendry was on this week's show, getting a win over Joe Coffey on Great American Bash Night 2. Frankie Kazarian, the Rascalz, Ash by Elegance, and Tatum Paxley are among those who have appeared on throughout this working relationship. And it seems the next person that is in line is former TNA World Champion Josh Alexander. He has been discussed for appearing on the NXT brand in the future. It's not yet known when he will make his NXT debut, but give me Josh Alexander versus everybody. Give me Josh Alexander versus Pete Dunne. Give me Josh Alexander versus Trick Williams. Give me Josh Alexander. Give me all of them. Give me all of them. I'm here. I'm here for Josh Alexander on NXT. That's one of my favorites in TNA. But finally, we have moved on from WWE. So keep those comments coming in the live chat. Hey, there was a lot to discuss with SummerSlam this week. We'll go quicker through the Converse, though.
Yeah, I got to like 2 o'clock, guys.
No
I know,
worries.
and I was late. I know.
AEW Dynamite this week, they did 623,000 viewers, slightly up from last week, but still down in the ratings overall. The show featured MJF defeating Kyle Fletcher in a terrific opener to the show. Post-match, Max blasted Fletcher with the Dynamite diamond ring to bust him open before Will Ospreay escaped being trapped in his locker room to make the save for his best friend. You had Mariah May. She picked up a win over Viva Van. Post-match, May received a gift from Timeless Tony Storm, which was a portrait of her cuddling Mariah, but she did not read the back of the portrait, which had "Die Mariah Die" on the back until Timeless Tony Storm appeared to get into another pull-apart brawl with her all-in opponent. You had Camille won a 2-on-1 handicap match. Post-match, it was Mercedes Moné who talked a little trash about Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, until Tony Schiavone announced that Tony Khan had overruled the Young Bucks' decision to suspend Britt Baker. She appeared via satellite to inform Mercedes she will be back in person on Dynamite next week. Orange Cassidy found some local boys in FTR to beat Roosh, Roderick Strong, and the Beast Mortos in a fun trios matchup. Post-match, the Acclaim came out to talk some trash, but their mic cut off. It led to a pull-apart brawl between both teams, as it seems like we're getting that three-way matchup with the Young Bucks at All In. Katsuyori Shibata picked up a win over Brian Keith. Post-match, the Learning Tree jumped Shibata until Hook made his return to AEW to chase off Chris Jericho and company. Swerve Strickland had himself a sit-down interview with Jim Ross where he said that he will claim Bryan Danielson's legacy for himself at All In, while Bryan Danielson defeated the Double J, Jeff Jarrett, in a very great anything goes main event that went throughout the building. Post-match, it was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat who raised both men's hand until Swerve Strickland came down to play some mind games with Bryan and challenged his BCC stablemate Wheeler Yuta to a match next week. I was okay with this episode, but I didn't think it was as great as the month of July. What about y'all?
I can agree. They had its parts, but I definitely do agree. Like, maybe they didn't like put much into it because of the Olympics. Probably, who knows? That could be it. That's hopefully next week there'll be a better thing because the Olympics will be over and things can maybe more people will tune in. But they definitely need to up the ante. I feel a little bit more like as far as we already know that there's stories, but yeah, it was the episode was okay. They could have done better. They had parts.
I thought
they also had travel issues, so that probably
see, it's always that was a liar. See how they do people.
I just don't know. Yeah. So I have no idea who was supposed to be there or not, but there were like a lot of things they had to change because of the flight issues. We were having like terrible weather for a while.
Oh, yeah, the weather was the rain was like you're right. That also can play into everything. You're right. I didn't even think about the damn rain.
Yeah, because TK he announced like earlier that day like how there was things that had to be changed because there was talents who were supposed to get there like the day before and their shit
it still was canceled.
Yeah.
You have to take that into account. I was like, I really like the beginning. I really like the end. I like Timeless Tony Storm and Mariah May, but everything else was kind of like meh.
Yeah.
It was a midweek.
I agree. I agree with that. Again, you don't need those shows to be. It doesn't need to be a banger every week. Sometimes it's okay.
They're not gonna hit 52 amazing weeks.
Understandable, yeah.
All right, they had a mid show. It was all right.
Yeah. We got here. Mr. Bonda says Hurricane messed up with the card this week. That is true. We got Frantic World who said it was good. This week had some ups and downs, but good show to him. And Annika says, repeating what Krssi said, bruh, you not spitting in my face.
Yeah, you can't spit.
And then
we still got COVID out here. I'm just saying, you're not gonna spit at me. I'm sorry.
Then you slapped him after that. How do you fucking?
Yeah, like
ain't no fist being open after you do that.
Yeah,
ain't no fist being open.
But we do have a follow-up to last week's top story. Dr. Britt Baker DMD suspension. On Monday, Eagle of Russell Pierce once again with the breaking report. He had some more information about the suspension of Dr. Britt Baker as well as her altercation with MJF that happened the night of AEW Dynamite 250. According to Ebu, Baker was allegedly burying MJF and Will Ospreay while in the women's locker room during their hour-long matchup on the episode. Atute let Freeman know via text message as she was in the women's locker room. Russell Pierce confirmed that Ospreay was the first person to confront Baker and ask her why she was starting issues backstage. Ebu said Ospreay confronted her, asked her about it. Britt Baker went off on Alicia Atute. Britt Baker called Alicia Atute by multiple accounts a stupid fucking bitch. Because Alicia Atute informed MJF that Britt Baker was berating him and talking crap about Max and Ospreay. Russell Pierce was able to confirm that MJF did punch a wall and go into the women's locker room, but according to multiple sources, MJF was not suspended due to the context of the event. MJF reportedly did not hit the wall in front of Baker, but walked far down in the hallway where no one was there to hit the wall. As for MJF entering the women's locker room, Russell Pierce claims he knocked and asked to enter and was allowed in. Ebu said, and I quote, "The reason he was not suspended is because HR had all the details and the information and the footage. And they looked it all over and they said, okay, you're not in the wrong here. You're just coming to the defense of your fiance." As for Baker's suspension, Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer noted that it was for either 1 or 2 weeks. Ebu confirmed that Baker is still set to challenge Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship at All In on August 25th. Fightful Select had other details noting that this will make sure they will still have Britt Baker. She will be back on television, as we saw this week on Dynamite, and she will be back in person on next week's episode, the August 14th episode of AEW Dynamite. Learning all this and the further details, we kind of got our answer to our main question from last week, Krssi Luv, Josh, where we were asking why MJF didn't get suspended. And it really just sounds like to me that this was Britt. This is like if you do something at your workplace a couple of different times and you get away with it once or twice, and then you do it a third time, you're gonna get some type of punishment. I mean, Britt been doing this shit, and once again, it's the thing that I talked about last week. You were upset at Will and MJF for an hour-long matchup when it is Tony Khan's fault. I'm sorry. At any job, when the boss is the person who is making the decisions, you are not allowed to talk shit about your coworkers for something that is on the boss.
Talk about it.
But then the match was great, and then that was their best rated show.
That's the problem. You're enabling.
That was the best rated show. That was the best rated show.
This is some real and yo, I love me some Britt Baker, man. But this is some real bitter bitch shit.
She was being a Karen. She was being a bitch. Like, stop doing that. Like, woe is me. I didn't do anything. Why is he like? Why am I like? Yeah, no. Stop.
Like, why are you not like bigging up these two fucking people that just fucking killed it out there for that much time? That shit takes a lot to do, and you here talking shit.
Yep.
You've been gone for like a year and you're here talking shit. Like, you have to be some type of sourpuss to be down in such great work when you haven't put in any work, obviously due to what you've been dealing with. But you're not in a place to even have that type of reaction in any sorts. Like, I don't know what level of entitlement these people have when they're back there, but that is just straight bitter bitch shit to me. Like, that, you don't do that. You just don't. Like, and the work that you're shitting on and talking about was some of the best work the company put out all year.
And one of the highest rated as well.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, none at all.
Do we have anything else to say about her? Like, because I think he's.
But then also, I kind of figured that's why MJF wasn't suspended himself. I was like, I think she did something that she was probably the instigator and the antagonizer, and guess what? She was, and that's why she got suspended.
She was being a bitch, and they called her.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured it was that. I kind of figured it was that. I don't think it was no. Some people were trying to use like the double standard argument of like, oh, why was she suspended but not MJF? At the same time, we didn't get all the details, but now knowing confirmation, all the details, I mean, there's a clear reason why MJF didn't get suspended, because he didn't do anything wrong. And him punching the wall, I don't think resorts to a suspension, depending on the situation itself. And I think, he punched the wall because he was pissed, but he didn't do it, at least like, it wasn't in a provoking manner where it basically did it towards her to make it seem like he was going to hit her. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, at this point,
that's what we would be able to do as a man if we are frustrated at something that a woman does.
Yeah. No, it is true. It's
that
true.
Far away.
Yeah.
Not in a place where it was threatening to her at all.
Yeah.
And he didn't do anything confrontational to her.
Yeah. He confronted her in the same manner that Will Ospreay was also like, why are you talking shit for? Like, I just got here. I just got here, bro. What are you doing?
I just got here.
But speaking with...
Just chill the fuck out, bro.
Speaking with our good friend Stephanie Chase, Deonna Purrazzo was asked about the whole situation with Baker and MJF, and she said about her experience in the AEW locker room, she felt like it was an isolated incident. She says, I think this was just kind of one instance that sparked a lot of drama and also kind of took on a life of its own. The rumor mill starts going and things aren't as they were. You know what I mean? And people add their own 2 cents and it makes it way bigger than it was. I think that this was an isolated incident because everything else that I've experienced in this locker room is supportive, is encouraging, and is a lot of camaraderie. We just recently celebrated people's birthdays. We had birthday cakes and sang. I feel like this locker room doesn't get as much credit as it deserves for that type of camaraderie. And that's why I said that this whole instance is a different type of situation than other backstage dramas we've heard in AEW because the company already took care of it by the time we heard about it. Usually we hear about this shit and the company still hasn't done shit about it.
That part.
And that leads to more drama.
And I should give them credit for, I'm saying, and they should get credit for that. And it's like, all right, they responded quickly, and they, and what, when TK was talking about making a committee, they've been using that, and I think those are things that they should get credit for because that was one of the things. Like, hey, every time something comes up, it's like, all right, nothing's being done. So like, at least they should get some kind of credit to like, with all these problems coming up. They're going to that and, they're acting on it quick and swiftly. And I think that's important. But again, like I said before, we're in the stage of something bad happens. People are going to run with what they want to hear or, they have their own conclusions to that. So that's why, you have someone like Deanna trying to defend like her, her experience, which I think she has every right to do. Yeah. It's just one of those things.
And also, unless people don't know, Britt is one of her good friends.
It's also like one of those things where it's like, when you force the people like that, then they're gonna like, oh, this person is lying, or this is like, at the end of the day, we're not backstage. We don't have the experience. People have different experiences. Some of it is good, some of it is bad. And that's why it's like this whole thing is just such a fucking dirty situation. It is because it's like it's fucking unnecessary. It should have never fucking happened, and that's why it's like it's annoying and it's pretty frustrating, especially when you have your biggest pay-per-view coming up and it's like, guys, this didn't need to happen. This didn't need to be a thing.
Attention, man.
Yeah.
We do have a super chat donation here from Belle. Thank you so much, Belle, for the support. She says, I'm going to be messy. I want to see what happens if Britt and Charlotte are in the same locker room. LOL. I don't think Britt wants that smoke.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't think she wants that smoke. That's someone that it might be even more loved than you are. So just saying.
Well, we won't ever get to see it. So
yeah, we won't ever see that. I don't think that Triple H is going to be dying to get Britt Baker, knowing her history. But we got finally the last news note before we end things off with AEW with Collision and Rampage. Ricky Starks may not be long for All Elite Wrestling. Dave Meltzer has reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that the expectation within the wrestling industry is that Ricky Starks will go to WWE when his contract with All Elite Wrestling expires. It's unknown when Starks' contract expires, but he has not signed a new deal with AEW. The expectation that Starks will jump ship to WWE won't come as a surprise to many. It emerged this week that WWE are now interested in the former FTW champion, and the belief amongst people, even in AEW, is that he wants to go to WWE. Starks hasn't been on AEW television since March of 2024, when he and Big Bill competed in the AEW World Tag Team Title Tournament. He suffered an injury in a match against Top Flight, with the winners being changed as a result. Starks didn't take long to recover from the injury, and he also rejected a story that would have saw him turn babyface and feud with Big Bill, and he simply hasn't been brought back to television since the end of March since then. So I don't think this comes as a surprise as many. I think that we would all say, like, 0 to 100, it's 100% sure Ricky Starks going to WWE. He's always felt like a WWE guy in general. Does anybody feel differently than that?
No.
I want to get Mickey.
Okay, I'll give you Mickey.
Okay, Mickey.
She just took a bath. So she's not appropriate to be on camera. There you go. Go put some clothes on.
Oh God, I can't.
But yeah, Ricky Stark's going to WWE. It's just about when he will go.
Yeah, because his bestie is over there. His bestie is just waiting for him to get over there. He'll be great as a mid card. He could wear the U.S. title.
Yeah. He's
Hurry
very
up,
much.
bro.
He's like a black LA Knight.
Definitely a black LA Knight for sure.
AEW Collision last
Here we go.
Saturday.
Putting the niggas in the comparison circle.
Oh God.
What? I'm just saying. That's what he is. That's the best comparison. AEW Collision last week did 189,000 viewers, which is the series low. It came on at 5 p.m. Eastern time due to the time change, not wanting to compete with SummerSlam. The show featured Darby Allin, Mark Briscoe, and FTR defeating Beast Mortals and Undisputed Kingdom in a very good 8-man tag team main event. Post-match, the Acclaim came down to talk trash to FTR and remind them they are 1-0 against them. This led to a shoving match between the two teams. You also had Christian Cage gifted the trios titles to the Patriarchy's Nick Wayne and Mother Wayne instead of Killswitch before House of Black appeared and revealed that Buddy Matthews is back. We also had the house attack Nick Wayne with an assist from the Bang Bang Gang, leading to a stare down between the two trios. You also had Claudio Castagnoli. He picked up the victory over Lee Moriarty and Tomohiro Ishii in a good three-way matchup to become the number one contender for the AEW Continental Championship. CMLL's Mystico and Hologram beat Premier Athletes in a fun tag team opener. Thunder Rosa beat Taya Valkyrie in a solid bout. Post-match, she challenged Deonna Purrazzo to a Texas Bull Rope match on tonight's show. Timeless Toni Storm got into a wild brawl with Mariah May before she defeated Rache Chanel to heat up their all-in matchup. And then you had
crazy.
She's always looking crazy now. AEW Rampage last night. The show featured Saraya beating Nyla Rose in the main event.
Terrible.
Darby Allin defeated the Butcher in a good David versus Goliath battle, while Wheeler Yuta beat Rocky Romero in a solid affair. You got to heat up Saraya before All In. She's going home.
Krssi hearing that shit. She trying to.
You don't want to call. You don't want to call her a bum, though, right? Okay, sure, no problem. Got it.
Hey, Saraya do be co-signing.
I mean, what is already known doesn't need to be said.
Sure. Okay.
Also true.
I get. She's
No problem.
Don't deserve the energy column.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, fine.
Final notes from AEW. They got a new show they're working with TNT called TNT Overdrive. TNT announced the new show that will air after Collision, and members of the AEW roster will be involved. The company announced on Tuesday that TNT Overdrive will premiere tonight after Collision. The show debuts this weekend and is described as bringing adrenaline junkies a collection of the most thrilling moments and exclusive stories from AEW wrestlers. So good news in regards to their ongoing negotiations with Warner Brothers Discovery. And then finally, Brian Keith had his first match on AEW television in the last couple of weeks. He's been unable to wrestle. He's had his arm in a sling for most of that time. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that it wasn't an arm injury that kept him on the shelf. He actually had an orbital bone injury at the time. So good to see Brian Keith back wrestling on TV. But it was good that he was still on TV while dealing with the injury. But
yes.
Finally, from the Converse, got to discuss ROH TV this week because ROH is actually a wrestling show again, guys. Good news. The show featured Athena and Billy Starks. Yes, I'm sure. Billy Starks. I watch it every week. I have to review it for Fletcher. Athena and Billy Starks beating Red Velvet and Queen Amanada in a good tag team main event. You also had Sammy Guevara had his in-ring return in a tag team win alongside Dustin Rhodes against the Dark Order in the opener. And you also had the Undisputed Kingdom defeating the Infantry in a rock-solid matchup to retain the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. So, wrapping up with the Converse, we move over to Japan. New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 34 tournament. And man, this was a great week. Like, I'll just, spoiler alert, most of my matches of the week are from the G1 because this was one of the best weeks of the G1. You had last Sunday,
Okay.
day 10. It featured Hiroki Goto defeating Konosuke Takeshita in a tremendous matchup, probably one of Goto's best matches of the last couple of years, and Takeshita having this MVP run in the G1. You also had Yota Tsuji beat Ren Narita in a pretty good main event. El Phantasmo picked up a crucial win to keep himself alive against Yuya Uemura. Then on day 11, you had Sanada defeating Shingo Takagi in a splendid main event in Kurgan Hall. You also had one of my favorite matches of the year. Zack Sabre Jr. beat Evil in 19 seconds in the quickest match of the tournament. Yes.
Wait, huh?
Clap it up for that. You also had
Okay.
Jake,
But what? Like, huh?
Jake Lee had
Deserving.
his best match. Jake Lee had
He
his best match.
deserved it.
Jake Lee had his best match of the tournament, winning via count out in a wild brawl with Gabe Kidd. And then you had day 12, which I think was the best show yet of the G1. In Kurgan Hall, we had the match of the tournament and one of the best matches of the year. Konosuke Takeshita defeating El Phantasmo in a simply sensational bout that featured one of the best crowds in a G1 matchup in a very long time in Kurgan Hall, and one of the craziest table spots you have ever done. Yes, this spot on the left
Oh my God, wait.
yes, he drove him his head first into the table, and the
Is the
table
person
cut
okay?
his back. Oh my God. Not at the end of this one because Takeshita won and El Phantasmo was eliminated from contention of winning the G1. That is a must watch for every wrestling fan.
Well, I mean, hey, man, if you're going to go out, at least you go out like that. You go out like that.
Absolutely. With your best match ever. Absolutely. Hiroki Goto beat David Finlay in a fabulous main event as Goto's magical run in the G1 continues. He had a wonderful, wholesome moment with his kids after the matchup. And you also had Yota Tsuji defeating Hanare in a pretty good hoss fight as well. Day 13, you had Zack Sabre Jr. defeating Gabe Kidd in a superb, hard-hitting clash for ZSJ to advance officially to the A Block final of the A Block playoffs of the G1 Climax tournament. Jake Lee, unfortunately, beat my boy Shoto Amino. The dream is over. The shooter agenda is over as he beat Shoto Amino to officially eliminate him from contention. Shingo Takagi beat Evil in the main event. And then day 14 this morning featured Bolton Oleg beating Konosuke Takeshita in a banger that was Oleg's best match of the tournament. You also had El Phantasmo pull off the victory over Hiroki Goto in an upset. Very good matchup, though. David Finlay beat Jeff Cobb in a very good match as well, while Ren Narita stole a victory over Hanare, and Yuya Uemura kept himself alive for the final night of the tournament, or the blocked side of the tournament, with a victory over his rival Yota Tsuji in the main event. So, man, what a week from the G1. I heard you, Josh. You saw that El Phantasmo Konosuke Takeshita matchup. What did you think?
Oh, once you talked about it, I was like, you know what? Let me watch this shit at work. It was worth it. It was great. I was like, God damn. Like, you know, they've been, you know, this again, I hope when he comes back to AEW, something happens because, man,
we all got to do a prayer circle that Tony Khan is paying attention.
I mean, honestly,
yes.
if this doesn't prove anything, this G1 run that he's been having, if this doesn't prove anything, man, come on. I was like, at this point, it's like, bro, come on.
Tony Khan cannot let me down again. You cannot. Takeshi's had one of the best G1s since Kenny Omega was in this tournament back in like 2018. This is one of the best runs we've ever seen in a G1 by one guy, and he's not even working for the company. So I hope the company he does work for actually pushes him when he gets back. That's my hope.
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Then in some New Japan news, they announced this week that there will be a number one contenders matchup for the show at the end of the month in Washington, D.C., Capital Collision. We're going to see for NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team Title number one contenders matchup is going to be Tomohiro Ishii and Hiroshi Tanahashi teaming up to battle Robbie Eagles and Bad Dude Tito of TMDK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans, making their New Japan Pro Wrestling debut for a shot at the titles currently held by Shane Hates and Mikey Nichols. So that should be really good coming up at the end of the month. And then finally, TNA Impact this week. The show featured Joe Hendry defeating NXT's Wolfgang in a fine main event. Speedball Mike Bailey basically defended his title, but not really, beating Jake Something and Trent Seven in a good three-way matchup, as he said he would relinquish the title if he did not win this qualifying matchup for the Ultimate X. Meanwhile, in the other qualifying matchup, Zachary Wentz defeated KC Navarro and NXT's Dante Chen for both Speedball and Wentz to qualify for Ultimate X at Emergence. You also had Jordan Grace had an open challenge for the TNA Knockouts World Championship against Rosemary, but Ash by Elegance interfered to cause a no contest. Josh Alexander talked some trash about the TNA fans for choosing to believe in Joe Hendry over him and the TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth before Nemeth came down to super kick Alexander right in the face and set up a first time ever matchup for the TNA World Championship on next week's show. And a final note, as we noted last week, Mustafa Ali lost the TNA X Division Championship at Slammiversary. He later announced he would not be returning to the X Division, but according to a new update from Fightful Select, he has now finished his tenure in TNA wrestling. So confirming what we kind of alluded to last week. And also, Bound for Glory will take place in Detroit, Michigan, coming up in October, on October 26th. TNA announced that news on TNA Impact this week. So that is all from what we missed. Look at me doing, once again, Krssi Luv, you give me a time and I can hit that real good. So our final segment is, of course, your favorite time of the week, Miss Krssi Luv, our match of the week, our best and worst of the week. For best and worst of the week, I'm going to say best of the week, I'm going with Hiroki Goto. I'm sorry. Hiroki Goto in the G1. I would say Lucha Bros because they're about to get paid. I would say Roman. I would say Roman Reigns is another candidate as well, but I'm gonna go to my New Japan heart and say Hiroki Goto because he's had a magical week, great matches with Finlay and Takeshita. So he's my best of the week. Worst of the week, I'm gonna have to give it to Solo Sikoa because he's a false chief. And he had the worst match at SummerSlam, in my opinion. Krssi Luv, best and worst.
Okay, so best of the week is going to Roman Reigns. Worst of the week is Seth Rollins. I'm going to mention to Bronson Reed for best of the week.
That's fair. JJ?
Yeah, best of the week is the OTC, man. You ain't going anywhere different than that. Put ones up, man. And worst of the week is fucking Tonga Loa. Where's the fucking Tonga Loa, bro? Like, motherfucker botched that fucking SummerSlam, botched the following Friday on SmackDown. Like this is a fucking botch fest watching this guy. Fucking Tonga Loa.
We do have a super chat donation here from I Make Beats. Thank you so much, I Make Beats, for the support. You've been sending a lot throughout the show, so I wanted to show you some love here. We appreciate you. And yes, Takeshita. Let's fucking go. And yeah, Gabe Kidd has been showing out as well. Josh, best and worst of the week.
Oh, best, I'm going to lean to Damian Priest because even in the loss, he's one of the biggest faces for Monday Night Raw, so that's good for him. Worst is Solo Sikoa. Not even only because of the match, but that on SmackDown, he got stunned by Cody, and then he got owned by Roman. Like, how am I supposed to take him serious?
That's a damn good argument right there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that was actually a good one. I'm
Solo got cooked by Cody.
He got cooked. He got cooked. Filet.
Twice that night, he got cooked. He got his ass whooped, and then I was like, man, he's a bum. He's another bum. You see? Another bum.
Yeah. See, he is a bum. He is a bum.
He's a bum. JJ, match of the week. What was your matches of the week?
Let me see. I had a couple here. So my favorite was definitely just watching the Wyatts. You know, because they actually had a really good match to close out Raw. Also MJF and Fletcher. I enjoyed the Pete Dunne and Trick Williams match on NXT. MSK and the Axiom that closer to NXT. And I got to see a classic Daniel Bryan match. It was Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Jarrett.
Don't call him by his slave name.
That was as much of a Daniel Bryan match as you're ever gonna get because of his opponent. And so yeah, it's good to see a throwback of a Daniel Bryan match. But yeah, Bryan Danielson and Jeff Jarrett, those will probably be my 5.
Krssi, matches of the week.
Okay. Axiom and Frazier versus the them.
MSK.
Rascalz.
Thank you. The
Or
Rascalz.
MSK, yeah.
The Rascalz. That's 5. 4, Trick and Pete. 3 is gonna go to Sheamus and
Ludwig.
Ludwig, that one.
Kaiser.
2, I would give it to from SmackDown, Andrade and Santos. And then 1 would be I knew they were going to deliver, but you know, and they gave them a lot of time too. And then on my last one would be Daniel, Son, and Jeff Jarrett.
That was a lot of fun, and it had any right to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I mentioned to MJF and what's the name?
Kyle Fletcher. Kyle
Yes.
Fletcher looked like an absolute star.
Absolutely. So yes, I have to give like an honorable mention to them. So yes.
Josh, matches of the week.
Matches of the week. Damn, you know what's funny? I had 5 in my head, and I'm like, wait a minute, what did I put for number 5? I'm like, damn. It was definitely 2 WWE ones. I'm trying to remember.
Just bring them off, brother.
Oh,
yeah.
It was. I
Yeah,
think
just say whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
SummerSlam counts, so if it's
The
from
5 that I
SummerSlam.
picked definitely wasn't in order.
SummerSlam counts. All right, I'm throwing Damian and Gunther. I'll throw that one in.
Okay.
That was a fun matchup.
That was good, yeah.
Number 4, I'm gonna go with Drew and Punk because I still think that was my match of the night for SummerSlam.
We could have counted SummerSlam matches.
Yeah.
So number 3.
It's been a week.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with Danielson versus Jeff Jarrett. Like you said, that was better than it had any business of being, but it also kind of told a fun story. Jeff Jarrett is motivating Danielson. Like that was the whole point of the match. Like he wants him to be ready for All In. Number 2, I'm gonna go with MJF versus Kyle Fletcher. That was really fun. I knew both guys were gonna deliver, but I think it really benefited Kyle Fletcher, and hopefully it does a lot of good things for him going forward. And number 1, like I said, the G1, El Phantasma and Kakashi. That was by far my favorite matchup I've seen from the G1. But then also, I think even without the G1, that was fucking. You don't even need the G1. That was a fucking match of the year candidate, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I have 10, so that's why I went last. All right, I'll rapid fire this. Number 10, Bryan versus Jarrett from Dynamite. Number 9, Drew and Punk from SummerSlam. Number 8 from this morning, Takeshita versus Boltin Oleg. Number 7, Gunther versus Damian Priest from SummerSlam. Number 6, MJF versus Kyle Fletcher from Dynamite. Number 5, all the top 5 is from the G1. That's what I said. Number 5 is Hiroki Goto versus David Finlay from Kurgan Hall in the G1. Sonata versus Shingo from Kurgan Hall is number 4. Number 3, Goto versus Takeshita from last Sunday in the G1. Number 2, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Gabe Kidd. Gabe Kidd has also been killing it and raising his stock in the G1. And number 1, one of the best New Japan matches, one of the best matches of the year. This might be in my top 10 for the year. Konosuke Takeshita and El Phantasmo. Y'all just have to hear the crowd. The crowd was going crazy for both guys, and it had some insane moments. One of the best matches of the year, period. 5 stars in my book, Konosuke Takeshita and ELP. But that is all.
That you didn't put ZSJ and Evil in there just for the satisfying.
I know I should have. Honorable mention, ZSJ and Evil 19 seconds. But yes, that is all for this week on Tru Heel Heat. I want to thank everyone for watching us live, everyone who's watching us on demand, and thank you to our awesome panel. I love when we have all 4 of us on screen, having fun, talking our shit, calling people bums. It's always a great time. First up, Miss Krssi Luv. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media, when they will see you again.
I was writing super chats down. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. Sorry for my tardiness yet again, but I was happy to be here and happy to see the whole crew here. But other than that, you can follow me on bodyslam.net for Know Your Role for the SmackDown post show with Stephanie Hypes. Watch our episode from last night as we rated SmackDown in the middle, kind of like this. Join myself and SP on our other page where we did our review on
Supercell.
Thank you, friend. Supercells. Thank you. I'm thinking super chats. It's the word that's in my head. Sorry. Supercell. We reviewed Supercell, which is great. If you have not watched it, go watch that on Netflix. No plugs. But yes, we reviewed it and gave our thoughts and what we think was going to happen. Hopefully for the next following season. Join us here for our flagship show, which is Tru Heel Heat, 11:05 a.m. But Krssi Luv _1, Tru Heel Krssi Luv on Twitter, and just my plain name. Thank you.
Top Guy JJ, we always appreciate you for your monthly visits. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
Instagram is Tru Heel _Top Guy JJ. Facebook, my name. Next appearance, I think I have that one down too.
Nice.
It is September 21st.
Okay.
September 21st. That's going to be my next one. A little bit of a stretch coming here for the end of the summer into Labor Day week, and then my birthday is literally right around that corner. So yeah, taking a little extra week for that. So yeah, so September 21st, I will try to send a reminder like a day or two in advance.
Okay.
Please. but yes, we always enjoy you coming through. And Josh, as always love your presence and calling people bums. Let everybody know.
Yeah.
You can follow me, JMPunk321, Twitter and Instagram. And then besides that, I'll be back next week. I'll be available next week. I know I'm gonna have also kind of a stretch myself soon, so I'll keep SP3 posted on that as well. Oh, and then tomorrow I'm also meeting Joe Henry. That should be fun.
Oh, nice.
Indeed.
Dope.
Did you have the portrait for us?
Yeah. I was gonna show in the beginning, but then I want everybody to know because everybody knows about Prince. Prince is doing fine. He had a little injury. He doesn't have his little his orange on right now. We took it off a little bit. Okay. But I got it done yesterday. So
oh, nice.
Say his name. He appears.
Accurate.
That is really nice.
That's really good.
Good job.
Great stuff, Josh. And yes, I forgot we had one more super chat to read here. Thank you, I Make Beats, who's been delivering for us. This man got a VPN just so he could send super chats. So we had to read this one to close things off. Thank you, I Make Beats. He says, this G1 has too many good wrestlers. Gabe Kidd calling out Shibata while slapping DSJ. Takeshita versus ELP. Takeshita versus Hiroki. ELP moonsault into the crowd. The moonsault into the crowd. The bastard driver through the table. Man, that whole day 12 is one of my favorite shows of the year from the G1. So thank you for the super chat donation and the reminder of all those great moments from this past week. But you can finally find me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Tru Heel Heat, patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. Best place to support us when we are not live here. We won't have anything on the channel tomorrow, but I will be back on Monday for Collision Discourse to review tonight's AEW Collision. So until then, watch all the videos, watch all the great content we did this week from SummerSlam and everything else. We appreciate y'all for watching the flagship, for Miss Krssi Luv, for the True Jaw Josh, for Top Guy JJ. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat, Zero Metal of OTC Judgment. We are signing off until next time.
Later.